Do you know how I know exactly what episode it is?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, what episode is it?
It's episode 37. I know that because I spent about an hour and a half listening to you talk about the number 36.
Wait, yeah, this is last
3 times 12?
last month.
36.
Last month's episode was the one where I phoned in. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if like Bill's calling in
God, that
from
feels
wherever.
like it was a year ago.
Yeah,
it was a
long
it was
time
so
ago.
long ago.
Welcome everybody to the Permadeath podcast, episode 37. What we're talking about is if you tuned out last month. Last month I sent in my audio. I couldn't make it for the recording. So this month's episode though is normal. I think, right? You know, it'd be an amazing magic trick. Well, not a magic trick.
If none of us were here.
Well,
That was a long time.
who are the
point.
voices? If like we have a prank episode, okay, where we just we're experts. Now we're not that good at audio editing, but
What are you saying?
none of us are here at once. But we're able to.
That's what I'm saying.
we're
If none
able
of
to-
us were here, but we've
Yeah. I see.
pieced it together.
Oh, I thought you meant that we were just ghosts and dead when you said
Oh.
none of us were here.
What a weird way to take it.
If none of us were here, like it's just dead air or the mumblings of people trapped in the
In limbo.
the ghost
In
realm.
the shadow realm.
Okay.
That went places I wasn't expecting. Oh my goodness.
So anyway, welcome
Anyway.
to the Permadeath podcast, everybody. This is your episode for the month of November, and that's important because there will be no episode in the month of December. This will be your last normal episode for the year before we start prepping for Game of the Year stuff, which will be a little different than usual. We are taking December off mostly so we can kind of
Play the games.
yeah make sure that the reasoning in my head is like we're never going to be able to play everything we want to play, but I'd like us to all be able to at least have finished up or have been close to finishing up things we really would love to play. That way when it comes time to talk about it, we at least have everything that we like deeply desired to see to its completion, rather than just I'd like to play Nier Automata, or I'd like to play like those are important, but not as important as like say for example Xenoblade Chronicles 2 comes out right in the beginning of the fucking month of December. That
Thanks,
is
Nintendo.
that is awful timing for people who would like to talk about it with Goaty stuff. So taking that month off and giving ourselves some time to play some things helps. But also we're doing it a little bit differently this year. Besides just giving ourselves some room, we're each doing individual videos to talk about our favorite games of the year.
Basically.
Yeah, that way we kind of we make sure individually that we talk about it, because in the ruckus of conversation it could be possible to miss out on certain things. Oh shit, I should have talked about that. This way we can give our distilled lists, our personal lists, things we loved. You know, it gives us room to talk about it without others chiming in, and then we'll have a Game of the Year live stream sometime in January to kind of talk about the year as a whole together, and then with you guys as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think this is a good plan, because last year we were a bit sort of disjointed.
Yeah.
With what we wanted to talk about, and I think Game of the Year is important for a lot of reasons this year, because it's been such an incredible
wild year
in gaming. So I think we want to make sure that we do it right. So we're
Yeah.
going to take the month off, and we're going to spend some time getting our Game of the Year stuff ready for you, and it should be
Also-
good. And
Also means that we can like look at a list on Wikipedia and be like, I actually need to talk about this one, rather than being like, holy crap, that's right, Persona came out this year.
Yeah.
Horizon came out this year. Oops, I forgot to mention them. And
which happened with me in Dragon Quest Builders last year. So
yeah.
It gives us a lot of space, and it helps us, and it makes for a better show for you guys to listen to for Goaty, because I know there's a lot of games people want to hear mentioned, and I know I would like to mention them to you, but you know it's hard to get to them all. Like I still have a long list of things I want to try to knock out before we talk about games. of the year. So it'll be fun. So look forward to that.
Also, there's probably going to be some videos still going up on our YouTube in December.
What?
Probably, like Final Fantasy 15 Comrades.
Mm-hmm.
I have some a small
Trophy
series
hunting.
of videos where I trophy hunt coming up on the channel at some point soon. So if you're listening to this on iTunes or wherever else we push this out, because I don't know. Yeah, if you listen,
All good podcasting services.
if you listen to us through a podcasting service that is not YouTube, there's still going to be some stuff going on. So if you want to check that out, it's youtube.com/Permadeath podcast, I think.
Yes.
And we also did 2 videos on Splatoon and Splatoon Salmon Run.
Yes.
Both Splatoon 2, I just missed off the 2, I'm sorry. Be sure to check those out if you haven't, because I thought they were really good. Bill tells me at one point to eat shit without realising who I am.
Yeah, that's Splatoon does to you. It turns you into a monster. It blurs the lines between friend and foe.
Worth noting, just briefly, latest Splatoon update went out yesterday. Allows for gear switching between matches.
Woo! I'm excited.
Which we were saying in the video is something that we wish they dealt with. They've dealt with it now.
There is only one explanation for that patch, and that is that Jesus Christ himself got a job at Nintendo and decided it was time to implement loadout switching.
Or Nintendo were a fan.
I think I like the idea that Nintendo watches.
Yeah, or Jesus Christ listens to this show and he passed it on to Nintendo in a prayer.
Also possible. Yes, a vision.
Yeah, Jesus.
Shinto Jesus. Who is Shinto Jesus? We may never know.
So yeah, there's going to be some good stuff coming up on Permadeath in the new year as well. So
Yes.
be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I did that in the wrong order.
Subscribe, then like, then comment. Thank you. I guess last thing before we actually get into this episode proper. Abby and I are unfortunate in that we are not American.
That's
Yeah.
not that bad.
That's it's a weird way to say this.
We have
but-
to pay VAT, and it's already encountered into the price, and it's lame. Ugh.
But no, at the moment, there's a big thing going on in regards to the FCC and regarding net neutrality and the like. And as we mentioned, we are on YouTube, and YouTube is a thing that exists on the internet. And net neutrality is very important for that, to make all websites equal, no matter who they are. And so if you are in America, and I presume you need to be able to vote for you to voice your concerns, but there is a website where you give your location, and it gives you the phone number for your congressman or senator or however the hell it works over in America to complain to them.
There's a website called battleforthenet.com.
That is the one. And
Call
yes,
your
you have until
goddamn senators.
is it senators?
Yeah.
Okay.
And call whoever the hell you need to call.
Yeah, call the
but
Ghostbusters.
typically, Yeah.
Call Papa John's. Don't call Papa John's. He's come back and said that he regrets his choices, right?
Yeah, because Nazis started buying his pepperoni pies. Papa John, you barked up the wrong tree, pizza boy. You fucked up. Anyway.
The Nazi tree. But yes, seriously, Portugal got rid of net neutrality, and they're now having to pay for things separately depending on whether you want to go on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. They've got to pay extra depending on what it is. So you don't want that. We don't want that for you. And
Save
like
net
I said,
neutrality.
as Abby and Abby and I can't do anything other than tell you to do it.
Yo,
please.
I'll just give you the phone number and you can call and talk like this. Hey, I'm American. I hate the fucking FCC. I'm Ken Ross. That's what you say. We'll get this done.
Yeah. John Oliver also did a very good piece. If you've ever seen that, that's probably doing the rounds again. All the links will be in the description.
Yep.
Do it. You have just 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, listening to us may never be the same
Well, that's true, because either we won't be able to go on YouTube, you won't be able to listen on YouTube because your parents can't or you can't afford the bill, or Bill can't afford to use Discord.
One of these things. He'll have to always call in when we're not here.
It'll be like, well, yeah, it'll be like the old days on Skype. Sounding like everyone's on a tin can. Because we'll be using tin cans and string.
That would be the underground internet the Resistance makes. Just a bunch of string and cups under the earth. It's very slow, but it's free. Anyway, yes, do what you can.
That's important.
God save us.
Don't normally like getting on soapboxes.
Oh man, it's okay. This whole show is a giant soapbox.
And also, I don't want this to be a thing that comes to the UK if America starts setting examples.
Yeah,
so.
that's the point as well.
Yeah,
we don't want to
absolutely.
follow you.
We have already set bad examples, so we don't need to set more in the United States of America.
And a belated happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, woo!
A local radio, we're doing a piece on things we're grateful to America for. Things like double cheeseburgers.
I'm not thankful
what
for
else
that.
was there? There was Reese's Pieces.
I am thankful for that.
Wasn't there an actress in there?
God.
Yeah,
there was. I can't remember who it was. It's so far back in the message history. But yeah, there was. It was weird.
Oh,
it was
dear.
weird. But thank you, America.
I think I think we're a couple of years away from having our own Thanksgiving of some description because we always like to copy America.
It was Kim Kardashian and Bradley Cooper.
That's who it was.
Found it.
That's who it was. Thank you. Thank you, America, for Kim Kardashian, Bradley Cooper, double cheeseburgers, and Reese's Pieces.
Well, I'm thankful for the Reese's Pieces.
Some good things in there.
I mean,
Some good things in there.
Anyway,
video games.
We've had a long waffle.
Thank you, America, for waffles.
Wait,
Yeah,
we
also
didn't invent the
Belgians.
waffle.
No,
We
I know
didn't
you.
invent the Ego didn't invent the waffle. Anyway, yeah.
Perfected it.
It's since last month there's been a lot of stuff that I have played that we have all played, and yeah. I'm trying to think in my head where to start with this month's conversation.
Well, there's one
I
game
mean-
that definitely all three of us have played.
Mm-hmm.
And also you got a Switch.
Yeah.
So
Pocket Camp.
yeah, let's talk about Pocket Camp
Pocket
first,
Camp.
I guess, because you've already name dropped it. So
I mean, we've all played it.
yeah, we have all
Can't
played
think
it.
what else we've all played.
Odyssey, boy. Mario Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
But Pocket Camp's the new craze sweeping over your Twitter feeds. Whenever Nintendo releases a new app, everyone's playing it and posting screenshots. That is the way that it is. Pocket Camp is no different. It's the storm like Mitomo that is taking over the interwaves. I actually
I
haven't.
almost reinstalled Mitomo.
I still have it installed, but I've not opened it in forever.
Did they add anything new to do in Mitomo? Like,
No, I don't think
They've
so.
added new games and new clothes and things like that.
I already missed the Fire Emblem cross promotion, so there's nothing for me on Mitomo.
I'm sure
The
they'll do
important thing is I got my Link tunic.
I'm sure they'll do
Yes.
a Pocket Camp one at some point.
What you get? Isabel hat.
Just makes the most sense. What is that? Is this like her head on your head?
Yeah.
Well, no, you just get like the,
Well, that's how the
ears
knees
and the
dress.
bow and the.
Like if you get Street Pass with someone with an Isabel costume, they've just got like Isabel's head.
Yeah, I know, but that's really creepy.
It is a
it's
bit
kind of
creepy, but-
scary.
It means they've beheaded her and sort of hollowed her out and want her as a head.
Poor Isabel. Oh.
So Pocket Camp, I haven't gotten to play it much. Like I played it. I did all tutorial stuff. I messed around. I added a bunch of friends.
You didn't add me.
Or me.
Yeah, I just kind of went the easy route, and like whoever added me, I accepted, and then whoever was linked to Twitter or like Facebook, I added like those family members and friends.
Maybe
Because
should do that.
I was just too lazy to type in the codes for people who like posted them. Because even my sister like texted me her code. She's like, "Add me," and I just read the code. I'm like, "Is there a better way to do this? Could you just like find me on Facebook and add me?" She's like, "Yeah, okay, fine." I'm like, "Okay, good." I don't feel like typing that. This is a pain in my ass.
Just take
But
a
I-
screenshot of your
I-
thing and just post it to Twitter.
I will. But I haven't played it too much. Like, my sister's like way ahead of me. Like always sending me screenshots of how like she meets my character and how ugly I look and stuff. So it's like I gotta get in there and like dress myself up a little bit. Make myself look nice at least. That way when people see me out in the wild, I'm not looking like a fucking hobo just rolled off the train to town.
Yeah, but you're living at a campsite forever.
That's
I don't
true.
see any washing facilities or anything.
That's true.
Gotta go to the market and just buy new clothes every day.
That's the way it is. That's how Tom Nook's getting his money this time. Besides microtransactions, but overall, I mean, my limited time with the game, like I enjoy it. Like, it's gonna end up being another mobile game that I don't play though after like a week and a half. Cause that's just, even if the mobile game's great, I just like don't ever play them. Like this, like in the same way that I just kind of don't play handheld games as often in my house. Cause if I'm sitting at my desk, I'm like, oh, I don't want to pull my phone out. Like I gotta just put on like whatever I have connected to my TV. Like even at work, like I just kind of don't pull out my phone to play games. Like I might, cause here's my reasoning behind this. Okay, a little aside. I don't like to do anything on my breaks or my lunches at work. Like I toy with the idea of like I'll bring my Switch, play some stuff in between, because then it makes my lunch go by too fast. Like I don't want my lunch I want my lunch to be as boring as humanly possible. So my lunch just crawls. Because if I'm playing a video game on my lunch, like I'm gonna eat that half hour up super fast, and then I'm just back to work. So
I mean, you know that time doesn't.
yeah, but
like,
it's all
you still get your half an hour.
It's
all about
all-
perception.
it's all in the brain, like if you're
But do
doing,
you not want your work day to be over faster?
Oh, I don't want that half hour of respite to be over faster. But that, because then
Yeah, but it'll be a cool half hour where you're slaying demons and whatnot.
It's just sad. Anyway,
I have noticed about Pocket Camp is that for a mobile game, it seems to be very time intensive in terms of if you wanted to do everything you possibly could in a day but do it for free, you would have to log on once every 3 hours because that's when the animals
yeah, like
move
resets
around and you get
move and all
new
that stuff,
sort of things for them to do, or to do for them rather.
yeah. I've
So
noticed
if you're
that.
min-maxing.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of not the way I would typically play anyway. So like I'm okay with it, but I understand where that's annoying as fuck. Like for
Is that not...
Yeah, my
I mean,
mobile game sort of play style has been entirely based around Fire Emblem Heroes, where if I have a couple of minutes where I'm not doing anything, like I'm making a cup of tea, or I'm waiting for a bus, or I'm on the bus, then I'll pull out my phone and do a couple of maps, and like I don't spend that much time on it. But Animal Crossing requires so much time to get anywhere in a reasonable amount of time, and you're always comparing yourself to these other people who already have like really cool things in their camp and you don't have anything. So
as a point of comparison, do you feel like Animal Crossing or Mystic Messenger are more time intensive?
Mystic Messenger is different because it will ping your phone once every hour or two, and then you play it for like 5 or 10 minutes and then you put it away again. Whereas Animal Crossing is like you probably have to play once every 3 hours for like half an hour to get everything done. So say you wanted to pick all the trees, you wanted to do all the requests for the villagers, you wanted to make sure that all your crafting was done and like you had new things being crafted. I feel like that takes a lot more time than Mystic Messenger's like chats and stuff.
Fair enough.
That's just me.
I've not played too much of it, but it feels nice to be back in an Animal Crossing environment and just like, even though I'm not min-maxing it, it's nice to just wander around and have noises and trees that I'm sure I'm running into.
I'm
That's
level
supposed to be my
21.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm level 2.
I'm still
That's
I'm
why-
level 2. But so
Right,
yeah,
I
for
wanna-
me it is literally a case of I'll boot it up every now and again
Yeah,
because I feel like I want to experience that and it'll tide me over until Animal Crossing Switch.
There's a couple of things I want to say. First, do you think that this is going to have compatibility with whatever Animal Crossing game comes out on
Yes.
the Switch? Because they
Yes.
said when they first announced the Animal Crossing app that it would tie into another game.
I think so.
I would like to think so. Maybe you can
I'd like
go
to
and
think
pop
so,
your little
but-
camper in your next to your house in the new Switch game. That would be cute.
Do you know what I want?
No.
I want for the camper to be a DLC car in Mario Kart.
Yeah. All right, I'll take that. Let's go.
That would be cool.
Just like I want them to add the Brutals to Mario Kart. Let's go, Nintendo. Get on it. I want to play those ugly fuckers.
I honestly think that it'll probably be like, what was it, City Folk, and you'll just go out and visit campsites
Probably.
as well.
Maybe. The other thing is, my biggest complaint with it is the variety in the animals. My favourite animal, who is one of the most popular animals, is Stitches. He's a little bear. And I decided that when they sort of announced Pocket Camp, I had a theme for what my camp was eventually going to be, which was based on Teddy Bear's Picnic. I thought it'd be really cool if I got loads of bears in there and had like picnics and stuff. It was going to be awesome. There is one bear in the entire game right now, so I can't do that.
So
I mean, it'd just be a very lonely picnic.
So that's what I was
Picnic time for
curious
Teddy
about.
Bear.
Is it not where like everybody has different animals? Is it kind of just like everyone
Everyone's
eventually
got
gets
the same
ones?
animals. There's 40 animals in the game right now. So it's
I mean, that's
it's not
updatable.
like
But,
an
yeah.
Animal Crossing game where literally
Yeah.
the odds of you having the same villagers
Mm-hmm.
as someone else, the exact same villagers as someone else, is just so low. Because
I think
everyone's got the
that-
same pool of 40 dudes.
In some ways, I kind of like that, because there were characters that I like animals that I liked in Wild World, and I was like, man, I look forward to playing with them again, and then I just never got them.
Yeah, that's why I kind of liked the Welcome Amiibo update for New Leaf, because you could scan in a card if you had the
Yeah.
card, and that villager would come and live in your town. Because I had Stitches in Let's Go to the City Folk, and I was like so desperate to get him that I was kicking people out of my town, essentially. Like, even characters that I really liked, if they were like, oh, I'm thinking about moving on, I'd be like, bye.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because I really wanted this one
Let me
character.
buy your ticket.
And he never came until that update where I actually went out to buy a Stitches card specifically so that I could get him in my game.
What is the eBay market? I presume it was on eBay or something like that. Like, what is
Yeah.
the market like for specific
I actually don't
Animal
know.
Crossing amiibos? Are they
I paid
all
£2
pretty well
for-
stocked?
I paid £2 for the Stitches card. Because it was a special card that came bundled in, which is a bit annoying. It came bundled in oh god, what's the game called?
Happy Home Designer.
No. The board game one.
Amiibo
Amiibo
Festival.
Festival.
Yeah. Came bundled with that. Which I didn't get until it was like £11, and then I bought it and sold the Isabel and Digby amiibo and made my money back, essentially. So,
Yeah.
um,
Speaking of amiibo, I got my champion amiibo today. They're amazing.
but yeah, what was I saying? Something about Animal Crossing. I don't remember what.
About the character pool being kind of small.
Yeah, the character pool's just like a bit too small, and there's shit tons of fucking dogs and hamsters and stuff. There's one
Would you expect
bird.
they're
There's
camping?
there's one eagle bird, Apollo, and he's the coolest, and I love him. He was in the Animal Crossing movie, I think. So
Yes.
I've really got
believe so.
I've really got the urge to watch that again, to be honest.
It's delightful.
Never seen it, to be honest.
It's
Never seen it.
a good movie.
I've seen pictures. I'm like,
think I
yep, that's
have it.
Animal Crossing.
I think I have it somewhere on my hard drive because I don't think you can find it anywhere now, unless it's fan dubbed. So
Oh man, can I be the voice of KK?
Let's
go.
So yeah, I was saying at the start of the week when it first released that I don't think I like it that much, but I think it's growing on me, and it's a nice tide over until Switch Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's okay. Like, I'll probably play it pretty intensively for the next couple of weeks,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah, I got to put some more time into it, like real time into it, and get a full. That, I mean, I assume you're still in your 20s. You probably know, because I was a little bit confused by that like rock quarry place.
That rock quarry place, I don't understand.
Okay,
You need friends for that, right?
Because
well,
you can use
friends are
leaf
leaf
tickets,
tickets.
but it says invite your friends to help you, and then you
Yeah.
have to manually, one by one, pick all your friends on your list and ask them for help.
So I think
And then
So it's like
I don't-
Facebook Farmville,
It doesn't tell you if someone has lent a hand. So
or if does it tell you if someone's asked for your help?
yes.
yes, on the
On your
friends
friends
list they
list,
have a
yeah.
little shovel next to the name.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, and then you have to click on it and lend a hand. Like it's
okay.
weird. I don't understand how it works because I've never heard anyone talk about it. I've paid leaf tickets to get in there because the thing that they were giving away was natural essence, which I was very, 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 very deficient in and needed it pretty desperately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not interesting. It's like they give you a shovel, there's loads of rocks, and they're like, right,
Yeah, you
break
just go
5
smash on
rocks,
'em.
and you break 5 rocks, and then you get stuff. I don't know. It's really weird.
Fair enough.
It's really weird.
So I guess similar, because Bill and I haven't had as much time. I know this is a thing that you don't like talking about. You're level 20, something, 21.
Mhm.
Do you feel that the leaf tickets given to you by missions and the like are sufficient to survive on the game?
You could go the whole game and not use a single leaf ticket, as far as I know.
Okay, so you're not feeling like timers and the like are pressuring you into buying leaf tickets?
No, like some of the timers that I've had, like I had my longest one so far has been 48 hours. But you know, I'm not that bothered about crafting and stuff.
Okay.
I upgraded it so that I had all 3 crafting slots. And then like the 48-hour thing was a picnic table, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And then all the other things have been like 8 hours to like 3 minutes in that sort of
Yeah.
range. So I'll know if I'm going to bed, I'm gonna put 3 8-hour crafts on. But if I'm playing it, then I'll be like, right, I'll do some 3-minute crafting or whatever.
Because I know that that's something that I was kind of cautious about when I was trying to add a second thing to my crafting list. It's like, you can't do that. You've only got 1. I'm like, oh crap. Just because I've not looked into how to expand it. And I was like, if I had like a super long crafting recipe. But okay.
You do need leaf tickets to buy upgrades to like your inventory and your crafting slots and stuff, but
Yeah.
I haven't paid for a single leaf ticket.
I think I've got like 300
I
at the
bought
minute.
the little stool that KK sits on, which cost 250
Yeah.
leaf tickets because I wanted it.
Yeah.
So now he's just in my camp and there,
Yeah.
which is cool. I really
Oh, is that
like
how you
that.
do it?
Yeah.
Is that the promotional tab?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I got that, which was 250. But through doing your daily quests, logging in daily, and your stretch goals, you still get like a lot of leaf tickets that you probably don't need. So I feel like for some reason people were really, really complaining about the fact that this mobile game that is free has microtransactions in it. And I do agree that Nintendo's microtransactions are expensive. But I don't think, for me, Animal Crossing has always been about waiting,
Yeah.
so it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
we're
Makes sense.
already mentally ready for this game to be making us wait. So it's not like I picked up a mobile version of like
Dungeon Keeper.
yeah, something like that, you know, or like some kind of weird Elder Scrolls game, and like it's like, oh, sorry, buddy, you can't go into Whiterun until we fix the gates in 3 hours. It's like, oh, okay, this sucks. But yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to diving more deeper into it. I wish I would have. I certainly had the opportunity to do it this week.
Yeah.
But there obviously a lot of other stuff I was playing, and just, you know, Thanksgiving stuff. You know, I was a little busy, but it was funny
alright.
though.
alright.
One of the things I love a lot about whenever like Nintendo releases a thing, like whether it be an app or like you know with the Switch or whatever, is I love going to like my Facebook list, like when I link it to Facebook, or like even going to like my family's house on Thanksgiving, and like I'll walk in and like there'll be some kids running around or whatever, and I'll just hear like the Pocket Camp music boot up, and it's like, man, like Nintendo's reach is insane with literally every human being. I'll often see a sentiment that now maybe this is a sentiment you guys don't see, but I see it often, that like Nintendo doesn't really reach new kids anymore, like because like all of those kids are playing stuff on PS4 like PUBG, or you see them on like Call of Duty or Destiny or whatever. But like, man, like Nintendo's reach with kids is like fucking astronomical still. Like kids still love Mario. Like just like no kid is too cool for this stuff. Like it's not true.
I can put some like context to that. For me, is that my 14-year-old niece, who isn't really interested in gaming particularly, loves Mario Kart. Like absolutely loves Mario Kart, and will happily play those games, and her favorite is Yoshi because she has been brought up well. But also on the other end of that scale, if we move on perhaps a little bit towards the Mario Odyssey talk, me and my dad went to the midnight launch of Mario Odyssey together, so we could pick up the game as soon as possible and start playing it as soon as we got back. Because
awesome. Me
and my dad are massive 3D Mario fans, so...
Yeah, we can move into Mario Odyssey. Now, what I do want to say this, because I haven't thought about it, like doing like any kind of spoiler cast stuff. I don't want to have to box ourselves in like on certain topics, like if we because I want to be able to talk about Mario Odyssey and be able to talk about Mario Odyssey. So if that's okay with you guys, not like super detailed spoiler discussion, but like if I want to mention something. We
do
about the final
timestamps
level,
now, don't we?
Yeah, we
Well,
forgot.
if you want to switch,
I forget to do them. I'm supposed to be keeping track of timestamps, and I'm not doing it. So,
God damn it, Ben.
I will try and do it in post as best I can.
If don't worry about it, Kinross. Don't worry about like total episode timestamps, but just for this case, anybody listening
Mario.
to this, if you have played Mario Odyssey and you want to hear us talk about it, great. If you haven't played it and you care about spoilers and things like that, we'll have a way for you to skip ahead. Past the Mario discussion entirely, because it's hard for me to tell where spoilers will pop up, so I can't say like, oh, here's the spoiler-free part. Like,
immediately if we went like, what's your favorite kingdom? My answer would be a massive spoiler. So
yeah, so it's easier to talk about this game for us, and I'd like to actually talk about the game. So yeah, there'll be a thing for you to jump on if you're not interested in hearing any of that. So with that out of the way, I talked about my Nintendo Switch impressions pretty much in a Splatoon video. I said I was going to talk about it a little bit in there, but like I kind of just, I love the hardware. It's really it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite purchases of the year. It'll remain that for the gen probably. It's just a really cool piece of technology, and I enjoy having it.
As proof of that, have you seen or heard how many places have had full stock of Switches sold out of all Switches during Black Friday, despite the fact there were no offers
on sale. Yeah.
I am so glad.
It was just a normal sale day.
I am so glad that I bought mine when I did, because it's going to be a pain in the ass. Because like even if it's not on sale, people are out at the stores buying other shit. That's like the thing everyone wants. Like they like nailed they carved out a piece of the holiday market again where the Wii used to sit, and like. That is very cool, and this time though there's a lot of really great software to support that decision. I think not that the Wii wasn't supported by the Wii was a lot of fun. Like I'm not taking anything away from that.
Yeah, but the Switch is way cooler than the Wii.
But yeah, it's not strictly like on the surface a novelty item where you play bowling with your ma and pa. It's like there's like sick ass games on this thing, and you could pop it in a dock, put it on your TV, and then. Like, when you're going from house to house in the holidays, take it with you. Like, it's a really perfect holiday item. It's perfect no matter when you buy it, but this thing's going to be really hard to find, I think, in the next 2 months.
I kind of think it was a smart idea now, retrospectively, for them to launch it in March when they did.
Absolutely.
Because they sort of, like, got the initial Nintendo fans out of the way in time for, like, families and holiday sort of gifts. So...
I was extremely surprised that I was able to just walk into Best Buy and pick whichever model I wanted. Even they even had the Odyssey bundles. Like I bought it like a week after Odyssey came out. I thought, man, Mario's out. People are going to be going nuts. I'm not going to be able to find this thing. It's getting close to Thanksgiving, close to the holidays. But I think I was on that fringe where, like, it's about to get crazy. But, like, I walked in there. I was able to buy mine and get the hell out of there before the bombs dropped.
So here's the question. Did you go for neon, grey, or some other edition?
I bought...
Hello?
Are you there, Kinross? Are you
sorry.
Are you trapped?
I was talking and no one else was talking, and I guess my Discord dipped out for a bit. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh no.
It's okay. Sorry.
It was a really like is he trapped in the internet type of low? Like it was like a hello.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry
I got the neon Switch with the
Team
red
Neon.
and blue Joy-Cons. Yeah, it's so beautiful looking. I was gonna get the Odyssey bundle, but I saved money by just not buying that and buying my own case and buying the game separately with a discount at Best Buy. As much as I want those red Joy-Cons, I just, you know what, I like the red and blue though. I don't even care. Like, you know,
I'm now toying with either picking up the Splatoon set or the red set.
Oh, well,
Red
the
set is
Splatoon
nice.
set's so bad. So bad. I'm kind of waiting to see if they do any more, like... Depending
They're
on
gonna
what
do
comes
so
out in
many
the year,
is
like,
the problem.
I reckon they're going to do a direct before the end of the year to talk about Zelda, and they're going to have, like, Zelda Joy-Con or something. Because they still haven't told us much about Champion of Is it?
Battle of the
Champions.
Champions.
Yeah, the other way around.
Something like that. I see. I'm still of the mindset that they'll do a big direct in January, like when they like revealed everything about the Switch, and that's going to be
Maybe
like
they'll
their
do it
pattern.
on my birthday again.
But yeah, seeing as how they're saying Zelda in December, and we've heard nothing.
Yeah, it seems
I don't
that
know.
it's coming out right at the end of December, though, so...
Yeah, so
That might be my
but-
holiday pickup for myself, will be the season pass for Zelda.
But doing a direct in like the holiday season seems stupid. Like they'd either have to be doing it just before Christmas or just after Christmas.
Well, they're not going to do it on Christmas, are they?
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. In terms of telling people about stuff, I don't know.
They'll probably... I imagine doing it after Christmas would make it so that people weren't confused about what was coming out in the holiday season. For, like,
Yeah.
casual people. I don't know. This is not Mario talk.
no.
We told everyone to leave and then proceeded to not talk about Mario.
Mario. We can hop in there.
A hop is a type of jump.
That wasn't a Mario noise at all.
Woohoo!
To be fair, he makes so many noises in this game.
That's true. Quite a few.
My favourite is where Cappy sits on his head for the first time. He's like, "Oh, come on!" Yeah.
I don't remember that one. I remember the Italian ribbit
Oh,
when you first possessed the frog.
you know,
Sorry,
I was
captured the
so
frog.
annoyed. The weekend that Mario Odyssey came out, Charles Martinet was doing a signing at London Expo.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I've wanted to go to London Expo in years because I want him to sign my copy of Mario 64 so bad.
One day.
I'm sorry.
One day. It'd be signed by Charles Martinet and Shigeru Miyamoto. That's the dream.
You'll run into them at a McDonald's.
And I'll just happen to have a Sharpie and my cartridge of Mario 64.
You just have to
with me.
carry out Mario 64 around forever.
Yep, from this day forward, it needs to become a permanent fixture in your bag.
You know, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna meet him in a McDonald's and I'll be like, shit, I should have listened to Bill's advice.
sign my double cheeseburger, please.
Right, Mario Odyssey is my favourite Mario game, 3D Mario game since Mario 64.
But not better than.
I need to play Mario 64 again. Because I feel like I know that game like the back of my hand. As seen in a video on Kid Russ's channel where
Kick my ass.
we have a race, was it? To see who could get 100 coins faster in Wet Dry World?
Yeah.
And I did it twice in the time that you did it once.
Yeah. Wet Dry World sucks.
Wet Cry World, as you called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like it more than Mario 64 because the thing that made me the happiest in Mario Odyssey is the spoilery thing.
Yes.
At the end of the game, can I say it?
Yeah, because that's something I wanted to talk about specifically because I think, like, I knew it was gonna be in there. I saw somebody fucking tweet about it. But I didn't know I didn't know in what capacity. Like when they said the Mushroom Kingdom was in the game, I'm I'm like, oh, I assume like it's a Mario game, you know, like it's not that like of a surprise maybe that you go there.
I
but
didn't know that beforehand because I'd gone out of my way to avoid everything.
I didn't know that it was like literally Mario 64 Peach's Castle though. Like I was not expecting that moment, and then I also wasn't expecting you to be able to buy the 64 outfit from the shop, which was like, whoa, like this is so.
And then
fucking
go into a section of the 64 world.
I wish I could have recorded me and my dad seeing that outfit for the first time, because we both like collectively just lost our shit completely. Because my dad's favorite game of all time is Mario 64. So he was like, when we went to the Mushroom Kingdom, we were like trying all these things. Like we tried to jump into the window on Peach's Castle to see if that took us anywhere. We saw all the fruits around, so we were like, we have to get on top of the castle because Yoshi might be there. And then Yoshi was there, and it was so good. It was so good. Oh my god.
I think the only thing that I did relevant to 64 was I tried to look at the ceiling in the castle.
And lo and
That was
behold,
literally all I did. Lo and behold, nothing happened.
did it give you a moon?
No,
If you look at the sun in the lobby, it gives you a moon.
Oh shit.
I didn't get any of that.
Hmm?
I'll have to try again.
Try again.
Try it one more time. Try to hold it maybe longer, because they gave me one.
Oh my god.
You look at the right thing, right? Like in Mario 64, when you look up and it takes you to that flying stage. Yeah, it gives you a star. Well, yeah, moon or star, whatever.
Oh, the fact that they were stars instead of moons, and it made the
old jingle.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm smiling so much right now.
Yeah, so I think smiling so much is a really good way to like describe Mario Odyssey as a whole. Like, this is a very good video game, and it's a video game that, like, from start to finish, like, it has so many. I think the Cappy mechanic is such a ingenious way. Like, I saw some people complaining, there's no power ups in it. Like, dude, there's like 1,000. Like, everything you possess,
literally like 50 power-ups.
like
Some of them are crap.
I know it's not like traditional, but like some of the mechanics that they tie into these, like I call them possessions, because you're just forcefully you're imposing your will on these poor unsuspecting creatures. But like all of the mechanics tied to these possessions, like in each world, there's always like something awesome to do with one of them. In every single world, there's never a world that I'm like, well, that one kind of sucked. Like I generally,
I mean, there are a couple. Like
I generally
being
like
a
them
manhole
all.
cover or like
So,
they're amusing, but the
Yeah, I
powers
gotcha.
suck.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
giant slab of meat. I can jiggle.
That
As he
was
does.
really funny.
I know it was funny, but like as far as powers go, jiggling meat is compared
Okay.
to
I think that's the
compared
best
to being
power-up, to be
a
honest.
fire cooper.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was a world that I didn't really like.
The lake for me,
even
just
like
because I
think-
still don't like swimming.
I think the lake was made easier for me by the fact
That's-
that I could get a cheap.
they like
Yeah, that
that's
does
that's one of the things where it's like, okay, when it gave you a choice to pick a world, I picked the lake first. I'm like, let me get the water world out of the way because that's usually the worst. But because of like the Cappy stuff, like I ended up really enjoying both Seaside Kingdom and Lake Kingdom a lot, because like you were able to take control over things that made what would typically be annoying, getting air bubbles and doing annoying shit, like tedious. It made them fun. Like it was fun to control it, like the things that they let you control there, and it made me enjoy the and like I don't. And every world had that. Every world had a thing where it's like, okay, this like looking at it, like the camera panning out over the world, going, oh, that's gonna be a bitch to climb, and then like you eventually find the thing that you possess in that world, and it just becomes such a joy to poke around it. Every kingdom was a joy to poke for me, like just like taking control of things and like, oh, I bet you there's something here, and there is. I bet you there's something up there. Oh my god, there is.
I'll tell you the
yeah.
one kingdom that I find. Actually, let's have a look at my stars, my moons. Sorry, because I guarantee there is one
Stars.
world that I am really struggling to find bloody things for, and it's either it's the Wooded Kingdom. For whatever reason, the Lake Kingdom and the Wooded Kingdom, I can't find crap.
Did you go in the dark woods or whatever? Jump off the edge.
I found that
Yeah.
by accident, and
Same.
I was like, oh man, I died. I'm not dead. This is really weird. I don't know where I am and I'm scared.
Also, I am totally staring as best as I can at the ceiling, and it's not working.
That's weird. It's the sun, right?
Yeah, I'm stood on the sun, and I'm looking at the floor.
At the floor?
Well, I can't look all the way at the ceiling.
Well, you look at the ceiling, that's how you get into the fly thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't pan up high enough.
Can't you like go into like first person thing and like
first
look?
person mode, isn't there?
Yeah.
What the hell is first person mode?
I don't know. I've never found
I
it.
let you move the camera. Hold on, let me find it for you. I'm not making this up. I got a moon doing that. Hold on.
Like, I could activate camera mode,
Yeah, try that.
snapshot mode. It still doesn't let me.
I don't think snapshot mode is what you need.
Oh my god!
How to go into first person view.
Oh, you clicking the right stick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was terrifying. But I got a star.
There you go.
Well,
Right, that's that interlude done. I spent the entire game not knowing you could go first person.
I don't think you need to go first person for many things. So
I know, but even so.
right, real talk. New Donk City might be my favorite Mario thing to ever
New Donk
exist.
City lived up to the hype. Like that was the first thing we saw of Mario Odyssey. It's like, oh my god, like initial thoughts were like open world, like city Mario. No one knew it was gonna be the way it was initially.
Real people.
And like it lived up to the fucking hype, like completely for me. Like because that was a kingdom I think mostly everybody was looking forward to because of the previews and reveals and things like that.
I was surprised by how late game it was.
Yeah.
Because I was
Same.
expecting it to pop up quite early.
Well, they tease you.
Same with the Food Kingdom.
I love the
I'm surprised
Food
that was
Kingdom.
like one of the last ones.
Everything was soup. The
Everything was soup.
I think we need a bunch of t-shirts just made of Bill quotes. Just see you in the history and everything was soup.
they tease you at New Donk City, then they blow you up, and you end up in the Lost Kingdom. For a
Oh
little
man,
bit.
that sucked. I was like, no.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to New Donk, baby, and then like, oh, here comes fucker Bowser. Here he is.
And then
Okay, are you gonna bring up the Dark Souls world, Kinross?
The Ruined Kingdom.
Yeah,
You're like,
what the actual
speaking
fuck
of
was
like,
that?
if we were to legitimately talk about spoilers, like you'd expect you'd go to Mushroom Kingdom because it's a Mario game.
Exactly.
But like at a point, I was like, maybe we'll go to the moon. It'll be a bit weird, but
I
maybe
was
and
thinking
then we're
that.
going to the goddamn moon, and halfway to the moon, a dragon attacks you
Amazing.
and blows you up, and you end up in a destroyed castle kingdom, and you've got to fight a goddamn electric dragon.
That dragon was not my favourite thing. It was
Here's
so
what
hard.
I love. Here's what I love about that so much is like you're so used to what Mario looks like and like what its worlds look like, and I think they subvert some of that even with New Donk. You get a more realistic looking city. Like the Mushroom Kingdom and all these other places aren't the only things that exist on this planet. And like I think what makes that Ruined Kingdom so eerie is that it's obviously that place is fucked. Like that place at one time was a place. Yeah, it was a place that has been destroyed, and all that remains is whoever used to rule over it. I assume that dragon. I don't think he's very happy. It's honestly beating him, and like as he was laying there, and you go up to kind of talk to him again, he just kind of like looks at you. And
I'm so
tells you to get out of
tired.
there. Yeah, like I felt really sad in a weird way, but like that was such an amazing curveball that like I wasn't spoiled on that moment. And when I crashed into that Ruined Kingdom, and first of all, seeing Bowser come riding on an actual Skyrim dragon, like when he's supposed to be a kind of a dragon, like it was just such an amazing looking image that like is just
so
another
bizarre.
another piece of like that game that like just comes together to make an experience. Like I said, you just smile from start to finish, and that was just so. I wish there was more to it. I wish I could have explored more of Ruined Kingdom, but I think getting that little snapshot of maybe all that remains there, like you probably can explore more because like that's maybe the only structure left
pretty
standing.
Yeah.
Was cool. It's awesome.
I think me and my dad had this conversation like partway into the game that we both had like our suspicions that we were going to be like the end game was going to be on the moon.
There's some
Because the moon is always really prominent wherever you are.
Yeah.
And also the lyrics in the song say, "Oh, we could zoom all the way to the moon from this great wide wacky world."
Yeah.
And what do? We go to the moon. And it's not like the first time that the moon has been a level in a Mario game, because I think in Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, the last level is the moon. So
I think also in Mario Galaxy you probably go to a moon.
probably.
You guys are making me want to take these headphones off and go play the game.
Zoom all the way to the moon.
But yeah,
Have you finally jumped on the goddamn globe yet?
Yes.
I've done
Okay.
it. Kieran, I've done it. I've
Finally.
listened to you. I've done it.
I think there's at least 2 songs.
I want that to be my ringtone.
So what is your favorite kingdoms, each of you? Off the top of your dome.
My answer is predictable.
Bowser's Castle.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Just for the aesthetic and the music.
Bowser's Castle
Bowser's
was
Castle
amazing.
awesome.
So cool. The music is that has my favorite music in the game. Do I say Bowser's Castle or do I say Mushroom Kingdom? Because
That's a tough
Mushroom
one.
Kingdom is my favorite for nostalgic reasons, but on its own, I think Bowser's Castle would be my favorite.
Yeah, I think Bowser's Castle is definitely mine.
I like the little bird things that you have to capture.
What, the Talkatus? Oh, the spring bird.
The spring bird
What it
thing.
was-
It was
what you
weird.
call it.
I liked it.
What about you, Bill?
What about
Mine's probably generic. Well, I mean,
What are you gonna say, New Donk?
yeah, but I also love the soup and I love the snowy place. But like,
Oh, the polar bear seals
I
with
think-
their Goron racing.
yeah, I think the festival in New Donk kind of seals the deal for me though. In that
I did not know that was optional.
I thought it was compulsory.
That's absurd that you could literally leave New Donk City and
And
not
he
do
did.
that.
Because I
Yeah.
started talking to him about the festival in New Donk and he had no idea what I was talking about. And
I
I
mean,
thought
I always,
thought he was just being an idiot. I thought he was joking, but he like started his game up and he hadn't done it. It was so
I guess that the only requirement in the game is that you get enough
the
moons
moons,
to
yeah.
go to the next place.
weird. You
don't
get enough
actually
moves
have
and
to
you
do anything
beat
else.
the brutal.
I always
Yeah.
assumed, but there was like kind of a main quest arc in each kingdom, and that was part of New Donk. So I just kind of like, okay, I'm getting these positions and doing this festival. But that's crazy to me that you could. I like made sure because my cousin's a big Mario fan, like one of the biggest ones I know, and he's unspoiled on anything, and he's like one of the biggest 64. I'll be on your level, Evie, with 64.
Yeah.
And like every time a new Mario game comes out, he's like hoping it lives up to that for him, and like he hasn't necessarily been as happy with some of the most recent 3D Marios, but that's because he's just a crouchy old man. But he's loving Odyssey a lot, and I told him, I go, dude, I want you to finish this game like as fast as possible. He's making his way. I forget where he's at now, but because I want to kind of be there when he post credits. I want him to see Mushroom Kingdom, Peach's Castle. That's his favorite. And I wanted to also make sure that he got the festival in New Donk. I'm like, dude, like you're in New Donk City, like make sure you find
Yeah.
musicians to do the festival, because I like there are moments in this game. There are 3 moments for me in this game that kind of define my experience memorably, and that's the festival. That is the arrival at Peach's Castle, and also the anime style conclusion where you are taking over Bowser, and that anime song is playing as you're escaping this exploding
just blowing up
facility.
the moon.
Oh
The moon
my
is
God.
disintegrating into something. I don't know.
The end game. The end game for this game is phenomenal. It's so good. It's so good.
Did I link both of you to the article about how it was a jest article, but about how Peach is all that's wrong with feminism,
I have not
or
read
something
that.
along
I
those
feel
lines?
like I've seen something like that, but I don't
Because like she ultimately turns down these 2 guys and then leaves them on the moon after stealing your spaceship.
remember. They get back.
And somehow,
though. Somehow they get back to the mushroom.
I think
Kingdom.
Mario jumps up and manages to hook on. I don't know how Bowser gets back.
Maybe
don't know
Bowser's
how
just
he-
still on the moon.
Yeah, because I know she tells Mario, let's go home.
Yeah.
And then like she starts to leave without him though. But then he jumps
Yeah.
up at the ship, and then Bowser jumps up, and Mario kicks him in the fucking face and kicks him back down on the moon. I was so happy in that moment because I'm like, this fucking idiot Bowser, like, Get the fuck out of here, you.
But
you
there was such a
asshole.
nice moment where Mario's like patting Bowser on the back. It's like, yeah, we both
because
suck.
they both got rejected, and I thought that was such a cool moment where she's like looking at Bowser with the flower, looking at Mario with the flower or whatever, and they're like both pleading for her, and she's like, nah, see you later, and just like leaves.
I will say that I had, like I've been saying for a while, I had a rough relationship with Mario 64. And I like that in Mario Odyssey, after finishing the game, it's like, get so many more moons to go to the next place, and then after that there is another get so many more moons, and that sort of spurred me on. And I'm kind of at the point now where I think I've unlocked everything just because it's not telling me to get a certain number of moons again, and I've honestly become a bit aimless.
I think
I
now
kind of
you're
wish that
probably
there
at
was
the
another-
point where it's just to collect things because you want to.
Yeah. But the last level, I don't know whether you've seen it, Bill.
I haven't
Dark
seen
Side
it.
Dark Side of the Moon.
There's one after that.
Oh,
Yeah, there's one after that.
Then I don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I play it, I get a little bit further, and I can't stop. I will admit that I did cheat to get through. Well, not cheat, but I did use an amiibo to get through the dark side because I suck.
I haven't gotten through it yet.
Yeah. I tried for like an hour and a half, and like, screw this.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
All is fair in Love and Mario.
So if you don't know, the Dark Side of the Moon is basically a boss rush.
Ooh.
And
In low grav.
in low grav,
Whoa!
and it's really hard, and
It's-
they don't give you health until the end.
It sucks. It's really difficult.
So I used my Peach amiibo between each fight to
I wish
give
I
me
had a
my
Peach
King
amiibo.
Heart. The problem is, like, the only Broodal that I had issues with is the first one. After that, it's easy. But the first guy's a dick.
Yeah. I don't know what's on the one after the Dark Side of the Moon, though. I know what it is. I don't want to say because Bill doesn't know. So. Anyway, in conclusion,
Yeah.
I love
Fantastic video game.
Mario Odyssey. It's amazing. It's everything that I wanted it to be, especially since I haven't liked a 3D Mario game in quite a long time. Not to be like grouchy and say that Mario's terrible
know
nowadays
what?
because it's modern Mario, but
You could be grouchy.
the only thing with Sunshine was just jank. I have fun with Sunshine, but it's a really janky video game. And Mario Galaxy has this perspective thing going on that just fucks me up because of all the planets being round. It either inverts the controls when I don't think it will, or it doesn't invert the controls when I think it will. It's one of the two, and it makes it very difficult to play. For me, personally.
Do either of you know what the 100% thing is at the end of Odyssey?
I do.
You do? Bill, do you know?
I do not, but you could say it. I want 100% that game.
I won't say it, but I feel like if I were to 100% the game, I would be a bit
I heard it was kind
about
of
it.
disappointing, yeah, whatever.
compared to like Galaxy, which I also didn't 100%, but considering Galaxy basically gave you an entire new campaign afterwards, for 100%ing, I feel like Odyssey's sort of a bit of a letdown.
I mean, you get a lot of post game though. I mean, before the 100% thing, like there's a lot.
Yeah,
to,
that's true,
There's a lot to
but
do.
like-
Did it a little different maybe in terms
Where's
of order.
Ouija?
Oh, you wear his hat. You wear his clothes.
Where's Ouija though?
That's kind of creepy. Like he's like
The best part
I think he killed
is-
Luigi and just.
is Waluigi's clothes, where it's like saying that they hardly look used.
I
That's the item
saw
description. Hardly used and a
Burn.
bit dusty.
I saw somebody say they should make DLC where you go to a haunted kingdom and Luigi's there with his backpack and vacuum.
Oh man.
Aww, that'd
And
be
you
cool.
possess
But I
him.
kind of don't want to like tarnish Mario by having
Yeah,
more
no
DLC.
DLC. It's complete. It's complete.
It's so good the way it is that I would be totally fine if they just moved on from it now to
Yeah.
start work on
Yeah,
another thing.
I don't
was so good.
think we'll see DLC for it. I think it'll stand tall on its own. I think it's.
Do you
it'd be
not?
a
So you
weird
don't
game
think
to
that we'll
play.
see new Super Luigi Odyssey?
I think we'll see maybe a separate purchase, like a game in a box.
Like a new game, yeah.
Yeah, but not like, oh, buy the season pass for Mario Odyssey and you get, buy the Odyssey pass, whatever the hell they'd call it, the Cappy expansion pack, the Cap Spanction pass.
Cap Spanction. Yeah, I think I'd be disappointed if they announced a season pass for this, because I don't think it needs it. I think it's a very good video game on its own. And also, I don't want them to be like, here's a new world, and then it's shit, and then it just like ruins the rest of the game.
Can I also just say that literally only one character in the game acknowledges that he's been captured, and that's Lakitu, and he's like, when you leave him, he's like, what's going on? I feel so bad.
Oh, poor Lakitu.
Oh, you know what is cool? I wanted to say about like capturing, and because they didn't show it every time, but like they showed it in the beginning when you capture the frog, like when you're jumping into his head, you see
like
all
the
his
mind
memories.
tunnel.
Yeah, and then you see it with Bowser. When you take over Bowser, you see like Bowser's whole history and past as you're jumping into his brain. Like, you have to imagine that's probably happening for Mario every single time he puts his cap on somebody. God. But we're just not seeing it. So
I like the frog one where it's like, it shows pictures of tadpoles that are just like JPEGs that they've pulled off of Google. It's so great. I love Mario Odyssey. And my dad also loves it, so I'm glad, because he hasn't enjoyed a Mario game in quite a long time.
You know,
he also bought me a midnight launch gift of a new Joy-Con grip with Mario on it, and it's very, very comfortable.
Nice.
So, thanks, Dad. You don't listen to this, and I'm kind of glad.
Thanks, Abby's dad. You know what was really fun about this, and now this point isn't wholly my own. I was reading people talking about the game, and they brought up a good point, is that like the other 3D Mario games always kind of like molded the level around the star you picked. Like you couldn't just kind of get every moon or every star like in succession. And I was trying to think of what this reminded me of as I was playing it, but like it really reminded me of like playing Banjo-Kazooie. Like where you go to an area and like you just kind of have all this stuff at your disposal and like all these collectibles to find and everything, and like
a lot of people have actually said that it's kind of like Banjo-Kazooie for them.
I was so glad Mario kind of went in that direction, because like I didn't buy Ukulele because of the stuff that I've heard, and I do eventually want to grab it because I feel
still waiting on my copy.
Yep, still waiting on my copy.
Damn guys, what? That sucks.
I kickstarted the game and they still haven't brought it out on Switch, which is what I chose my backer award to do.
Yeah. It could have been my game of the year. Probably won't be able to play it in time. Probably also wouldn't be my game of the year, but it could have been.
I want to give it a chance. I almost said chance. I want to give it a chance.
What about Knack 2? You still need to play that, though.
I'm never playing that fucking game. It's not happening. I will resist. They could arrest me at the bet, whatever.
The bet police.
Yeah, the bet police can come get me. Yeah, it was a really nice feeling of like playing a really great Mario game, but also playing a game that harkens back to the tried and true methods of things that I loved back in the day. It was just such a great, because it had a lot of callbacks to old Mario. It had a lot of great, dude, you know what? I feel like an idiot. I didn't know. Now this is on me. I didn't know Pauline was the one you save in Donkey Kong. I didn't know.
Oh my goodness!
Did you?
She was just called the lady. She didn't have a name, but yeah.
My friend was telling me about it. That's kind of why, like, when you're doing the festival, like, all that stuff's Donkey Kong related for the most part, like, as well. Like, that's her. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I did not know that. I just had no idea.
Yeah, she's been in the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, as far as I know, but she hasn't had, like, a main series appearance in a very long time, so...
Well, that was awesome.
I'm kind of not surprised that you didn't know that, because... Why would you?
Yeah. It's in a similar vein. I'm like, okay, it's Pauline. I don't really care.
See, I think from this game, I actually like Pauline a lot more than I like Peach.
Pauline's awesome, yeah.
Well, Pauline's really cool. running an actual kingdom.
Feminism.
And she sings like
Peach is just being kidnapped and.
Although I do like what they did with Peach in the post game, where she's just like traveling around the world. That's really really neat to me.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good game. Great game. One of the best games of the year. And
you've also played another best game of the year potential.
Yeah, I started Breath of the Wild. Now, I'm not as far into Breath of the Wild as I'd like to be. So in terms of like what I'll talk about, there's not too much, aside from like the bare essentials. And I will get back into talking about Breath of the Wild when we talk about GOTY stuff on our live stream. And maybe it'll make it on my list. We'll see.
First question. Do you like the music?
Yes, I think the music's. I know you're asking me this because you already know my answer.
Suck it, everyone who hates the music.
I
I think
How did you already know?
I think we already had a conversation about it.
Yeah,
because me and Bill have like kind of similar tastes in game music. I think because
Not too far off.
one of the things that I heard. Now I haven't I've heard some bits and pieces of it, watching a friend play or whatever. But in terms of like sitting down and like listening to it, some of the music and all that stuff, like I've never done it. So like hearing a lot of what they did with it is kind of my first time doing it, playing it, and like I think it's like brilliantly done the way that the soundtrack is peppered throughout the game. And I know a lot of people don't like it, that it's not like boisterous and you're not hearing like the Hyrule Field song every time you run out of the town.
That's sort of the point, though.
This
is like the thing that people don't get when it comes to soundtracks is contextually in the sense of the world it has to make sense. Whereas, for example, Ocarina of Time sounds very sort of heroic and adventurous and stuff. This one sounds very empty and sort of sad and melancholic and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
It would be weird if you're just going out there creeping around in these bushes and like the entire time you're hearing dun 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 dun. Okay, calm down. Could you relax for 5 minutes? I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to explore. So they have this really like ambient piano. Why am I talking about
piano?
What?
Have you been talking to us too much and you're like trying to fit in?
They have this really ambient piano score in the game.
Piano.
That accompanies your adventures, and like the music will pick up when fighting bosses, or as you approach like Kakariko Village, you hear the music in the distance, which I think is a brilliant thing to do. Like the proximity audio with the music is so cool because you're getting near it, and like the melodic music is still in this video game. It's just not there all the time because it doesn't make sense for it to be. But I think even just the small, little quiet piano numbers are like just so effective at what they do, and I don't actually like know why you'd be disappointed in it. I mean, I guess coming from if you like love Zelda, like I know Zelda's known for like so many memorable tracks similar to Mario, but like it's
I think a lot of people were kind of salty that Koji Kondo wasn't working on it.
Oh yes, the Animal Crossing lady who did the music for this game.
And don't do what Kinross did when you're doing the final boss. Turn the music on. Because Kinross did not have the volume for it.
I didn't. My Discord dipped out again, unfortunately. So I don't know whether you've mentioned this, but does this piece of music inspire anything in you, Bill?
What was it again? Was that the music that plays when the Guardian looks
Yeah.
at you? Yeah. That
Like those piano. And you're
It
like,
makes
"Where
me
the
sweat.
crap
It
is
makes
it?"
me sweat. I don't like it.
It's so good, and I love piano the way it is. Like I'm somebody who like I can listen to any song rendition on a piano because I think it's just beautiful. So like knowing that a lot of the soundtrack's piano, like that's effective for me. I think it evokes something for me at least because I love the instrument. But yeah, I love the music. I think it's fantastic the way it's done. I haven't gotten to hear like too much of it because like I said, I'm only in Hateno Village right now. I'm not I went to Kakariko.
I mean,
and I'm up to
saying
Hateno.
where you are doesn't really mean anything.
You could have done 4 dungeons by then.
You could have done 4 dungeons and only just discovered Well, actually, I think you can't have done 4 dungeons without.
I think you have to go to Kakariko.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to get like my Sheikah slate fixed up and like do and like I went to talk to the lady at Hateno. What's her name?
Mm-hmm.
She's the best character in the game so far.
I can't remember.
The little midget.
Oh god.
Lestalum.
Lyra?
Lyle.
It starts with a P, I think. It's like
Limp.
Pyrrha or something.
Pyra.
Oh,
Pyra.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
want
don't
an
fucking
amiibo.
know my Zelda characters.
I want an amiibo of Pyra or Pyrrha, whatever her name is. She like gives you the camera and makes you take a picture of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so far overall, like my brief time, I don't say brief time. I may played it for about 5-6 hours. I'm like loving the game a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the gameplay loop is kind of just what I like when it comes to games that kind of let you freeform explore, like something that's not totally bound by the story. And like there are different types of open world video games, and we get stuff like Far Cry, we get stuff like Assassin's Creed, we get stuff like Horizon, and then you get stuff like Morrowind, and you get stuff like Breath of the Wild that kind of gives a little more freedom to the player. Like, it isn't necessarily bound to a narrative. I mean, it's there. Like, it's like, you know, the whole idea of, like, you get the objective to defeat Ganon literally 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah. What an objective marker.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was so cool. And, like, okay, that's the end game. Like, obviously, yes, that is the end of the game. How I get there, like, you know, it depends on who I talk to and what objectives I get on the path. But, like, there's nothing going, like, oh, how do you defeat Ganon? You eventually know, you get to Divine Beasts, like, you get those objectives. But, like, beyond that,
if you want to.
Like Morrowind, you can kind of just go, I'm going to go walk all the way over here, and if the shit's too hard, I can still go. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's never anything gatekeeping you, necessarily. And I think what made that click in my head the most is I was talking to my cousin on Thanksgiving, and now I know the Master Sword's in this game. It's not something that, you know, it's obvious. Like, you just kind of expect it. He told me that, like, if you have the appropriate hearts, you can kind of just go get the Master Sword whenever you want. And, like, hearing that's like, whoa, okay. Like, that's so cool to me. Like, that, like, the game allows you, like, it's similar to Morrowind, where if you want, you can travel to a very end-game place and try to obtain items that you really shouldn't be trying to get. You will die, most likely. And it's a freeform exploration that I haven't really had since Morrowind. Like, I've played other Elder Scrolls games even between Morrowind and now, but those, like, as Oblivion and Skyrim went on, those games kind of got a little more railroaded by their main quest, whereas Morrowind kind of just, like, never really explicitly states this is the main quest. Whereas in Skyrim and Oblivion, like, here's the main story, go do them. Like, Morrowind was kind of just like, hey, go talk to this guy, and you kind of hear that and go, okay, whatever. Like, it's not really, and it's kind of freeform explorer. So as I'm playing Breath of the Wild, the only thing that's on my brain is just running around and doing stuff. And, like, seeing cool stuff and then going, oh, I want to go there, or I want to see what I can get from this, or I want to see what I get from this chest, or I want to go find some shrines, and just literally just spend 3 hours doing shrines. And it's been a blast. It's been a blast climbing shit. It's been a blast just playing it. It's a good game.
It's been a while since I've played it, but with the release of Mario, there's been a couple of things going around. I just wanted to say that when they originally said from the start of the game you can go and fight the end boss if you really want to, I think we were all like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I do know now for myself that it is entirely possible for you to go to the end boss with 3 hearts and literally nothing, because I did it in master mode. You don't live very long, but you
the
can
world
do it.
record for
Beating the game is probably like 45 minutes at this point.
It's 40 minutes.
Damn.
And literally what you have to do is get the paraglider, because you need the paraglider to finish the game, and then you just go straight to Hyrule Castle.
Yeah. So, but
did you see that Zelda won an award? I don't remember.
Ultimate Game of the Year or something.
It was like Game of the Year or something, and they said, we're honoured that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has won this prestigious award. I'm a little relieved that Super Mario Odyssey had only been out for a week when voting ended.
Yeah. But can we please have on record, Bill, do you now appreciate that when Abby and I played Horizon Zero Dawn literally straight after Breath of the Wild, that
why can't I climb this?
The climbing mechanic is one of those things that you just assume should be everywhere now. Even to, not necessarily to the extent that you can climb a mountain, but
we've
that
talked
you should
about
be
this
able
in
to.
Discord. You have my opinion on record on there, but not on this. Yes and no, because I think it works in context of Zelda. I don't think it can work in context of every video game. But I don't mean that it's a mechanic that shouldn't be in, because like it's really fun to just go, I need to get up there. I don't know how to get up there. Let me just fucking climb it. And I think it works in context of Zelda. I think it'd be strange if, like, I'm just playing, like, you know, let's say the next like Last of Us game is open world. Like, oh, I get up this building. Let me just stick my hands to these bricks and just kind of climb up this building. You know what I mean? Or like even in Horizon's case, like a lot of it isn't necessarily something that can be climbed. You know what I mean? Like just like free form, just Let me just suction cup myself to the side of this
There
wall.
are so many small ledges you should be able to climb in that game.
But I mean, also like there might not be anything up there that you need to find. You know what I mean? Like Zelda hides things, and like there's a lot to like the whole world's explorable. Like I'm not looking at it as, I don't know if you're looking at it as a way to like dock from Horizon, because I just don't think it's the point of Horizon. Whereas like Zelda is the point is to explore this world, whereas Horizon gives you this open world to experience its narrative and story and its lore and all that stuff.
I think it was just coming straight off the back of Zelda into Horizon. Yeah. It was like, there's this ledge, and it feels like I should go up here because it looks like there's something there, but I can't because there's not like these like little footholds that are highlighted or whatever.
I think a lot of open world games can learn a lot from what Breath of the Wild does in terms of like you want to actually poke around its world instead of just running past stuff and fast traveling. Because I mean, Horizon did it to me. It was beautiful to look at, and I spent a lot of time just out in the wild. But I never really got the urge to just go, oh, I wonder what's up there, because like I know there's not gonna be. But I guess coming from Breath of the Wild, like where they just like there's always something somewhere. You gotta want to climb. And who knows? Maybe if I had played in a different order, maybe I'd think a little differently. But I think it's a great mechanic. I think a lot of developers should look at it. But I also don't necessarily think it makes sense to be in every open world game either.
It kind of worries me, in a way, going forward in other Zelda games, that if they aren't like Breath of the Wild, I'm going to be like, oh no.
I think they've said generally that for the foreseeable they'll be open air, so they'll be in a similar sort of style, but they might sort of try and put a bit more emphasis on story progression and things like that.
I'm in an iron about whether or not this is my favourite Zelda game.
I think I've come to a decent conclusion in regards to that, and I've said it before, that it's my best it's my favourite mechanically, and Wind Waker's my favourite story.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm falling, but
if the next game has a great story and is basically the same as Wind Waker, then not Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, then
perfect Zelda
I guess
game.
De facto that'd be my best Zelda game. But sort of seeing as how you're playing both Mario and Zelda at once, I've seen a lot of people being like, the Koroks in Breath of the Wild are on a similar level of like hunting for things as moons are in Mario, except that Mario is always interesting and unique ways of finding things, whereas the Koroks, after a certain point, you might not be there, are all very repetitive. Like you'll see a rock out of place, you're like, that's a Korok. Well, here's some statues. I need an apple.
Yeah, I've done 3 so far with the apple. Yeah, and it's funny. I bouncing between the 2 games. There was a moment in Seaside Kingdom where there's a statue underwater, and there's like the seed on this little thing, like this little fruit, and I'm like, oh, I have to find more of those and put these on the thing. Where no, I just had to find that seed and go plant it at the beginning. Like that had nothing to do with the statue underwater. But in my brain, I saw that and go, oh, one of those puzzles again. When really it was from Zelda. But yeah, I've done that. I found like 3 Korok seeds through the apple method so far, and yeah. I mean, when there's so many. I mean, I guess there's so many moons too in Mario. I guess there's really no.
Yeah.
No
I think there's only there's 100 and something Koroks and 900 something moons at this point, probably.
I mean, not all the moons are very interesting to find either.
No, true. There are some that are always the same. Like
some are just like, oh, it's a glowing spot in the ground. Let me stomp my ass on it, and like, there's a moon. There's another moon.
Here's a glowing stick.
But
spin you out on it. But
yeah,
I thought it was an interesting comparison to make.
For sure. I hope to have more thoughts on Zelda. Well, I will have more thoughts on Zelda when we talk about Ghost.
Well, you've missed the spoiler cast already. We did that in April, March.
I'll have to go back and listen to the spoiler cast once I finish.
Yeah, and then you can hear me chase you away from it until you finish Zelda.
But yeah, I'm liking it. Even the weapon breaking stuff, you know, like I'm not minding it too much. It's something I was prepared for going in, maybe mentally. Yeah. So I you know, plus here's where it feeds in for me is like, I like picking up new stuff in games. Like even in like I'm playing Skyrim VR right now, and like I just always like finding new shit to use. Like I don't really ever get attached to something like weapons, unless like especially early game, unless it's like a late game like super rare weapon and it's like I want to use it. But like if I just I found a nice axe, like okay, you know, after a while it's like let's find something new. So like this kind of forces you to always be finding something new, and like I'm okay with that freeform style of like, oh shit, it broke in the heat of battle. I'm like scrounging to kind of find the next thing to use, or whether I have something or not, or whether I have to try to pick something up or improvise.
Or just run.
Yeah, I'm not minding it too much so far. It's not too big of a deal to me. I would like more inventory slots. The weapon breaking isn't bothering me. I think not having enough space to carry things is.
Yeah.
But that'll get better in time, though, like in every game.
I think that very early game, when everything is crap and you also don't have many weapon slots, it can be a bit more punishing than sort of mid-game where you've maybe gotten another slot, but even if you don't, your weapons last a little bit longer and do a bit more damage.
Because I'm always kind of keeping at least 2 types of weapon on me that are going to take up slot no matter what, and that's an axe and a hammer, so I can cut trees and hit rocks. So, like, unless I can do those without those,
yes.
If there's... Oh, you can?
Yep.
What do I have to use anything? Any weapon?
Yep.
Or...
like to cut trees, it has to be sharp. You can't use a stick to cut down a tree.
Yeah, okay.
Any sword can cut down a tree.
Oh, well, then never mind. I'm thinking, like, because they showed me the way with those 2 weapons that I have to use those 2 weapons specifically to...
Nah.
Okay, never mind then. Then fuck it.
If you want to for your own immersion, that's fine.
Nah, I don't
But,
give a
yeah,
shit
you
about
don't.
that. I thought I had to hold on to those 2 types, so I'm like, I'm bound to those. But oh, cool. Okay then. Oh, nice. Then as soon as I get on, they're 2 shitty ones. I'm just gonna dump them in the river.
You can at least use them till they break. Don't litter.
Feed them to the fishes.
You know what? I wish Breath of the Wild had fishing.
I don't.
It doesn't have fishing?
No.
There's enough games that have fishing. There's a fucking Final Fantasy 15 VR game about fishing. I'm good
That's
with
so
that in Zelda.
weird. That's so weird that there's no fishing.
Yeah, but fishing's never
there's
been
not really
good when
any-
it has been in Zelda, so...
It was alright in
This was
Twilight
their
Princess.
chance.
No.
This was their chance to make the
The
best
Waggles?
fishing possible.
No.
Anyway, is there anything you guys have been playing on your own that isn't Odyssey or Zelda?
Oh yeah, Fire Emblem. I forgot about that.
Fire
I thought
Emblem
that we
Warriors
had
came
played it.
out, and it's the best! It's the best. It's the best. It's so good.
The best.
It's so good. And I'm really, really happy that it ended up being decent. Because...
This is good news.
I haven't played as much of it as I would like, as with everything, so that's why I'm grateful that we're taking a month off and I can just sort of
chill
play
and
some more stuff.
Fire Emblem Warriors is, in my opinion, a bit better than Hyrule Warriors, which I'm kind of surprised that I would say.
I think that I am in a similar mindset, and I think I know why, but I will hear what you think first.
First thing is that there's a lot of... The main discussion around Fire Emblem at the minute is the lack of character variation and weapon variation, which I've been saying for quite a while I thought was going to be an issue.
Yep.
Since
A lot
they
of
announced
swords
the
in that
two
game.
Lord characters were sword users, and I don't know. Main problem for me is that there is the only way you can use lancers in this game is if you're on a Pegasus. I do not like using the Pegasus units at all.
Any flying unit. Camilla's
okay.
but she's an axe.
But yeah, Cedar, not Camilla, Cedar, Cordelia, and Hinoka I find are all equally as bad, and I'm pretty sure Cordelia and Cedar are identical in their movesets.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is that I don't like about it. There's just something off. I think everything takes too long. All the animations are too long or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about spears that I don't like in this game. But that should be fixed if you get the season pass.
Oh.
Because Azora has been announced, so...
Oh, right. I thought you meant like Lances and Pegasi should be fixed if you buy the season pass.
No, as in they will have a character
variation.
that has a lance that is not on a Pegasus.
Okay.
Which is not ideal. But you get so many more history maps, and history mode is like the adventure mode of Fire Emblem Warriors, and it's so much better. Much better. It's like painful how much better it is. Oh.
But that is my main reason for why I think I prefer Fire Emblem over Hyrule Warriors, is because even if history mode has as much content as the adventure maps did, the fact that it doesn't present itself to you as a terrifying map of here is everything that you're going to have to do, it's just a nice list that slowly unlocks over time. It's like, oh yeah, I've got a new history map. Great, I can play that.
So the history maps are great because instead of having, like you said, that big terrifying map, it's just a very concise map. You can move around it really easily. You don't have to solve puzzles to get to places. And it's much more lenient than Hyrule Warriors was. Sorry, I forgot the name of the game. It's just much more lenient because sometimes it'd be like, to move to this next tile, you must get S rank in this really, really difficult thing. And it'd be really difficult, but there's no sort of like stipulation as to you can only progress if you get S rank. It'll be like you can have this extra item if you get S rank.
Yeah.
Which are very useful because some of them are like master seals which upgrade your characters and whatever. But history mode is just better than adventure mode. They're sort of in different stories as well, so you can do the Awakening map, you can do the Fates map, you can do the Shadow Dragon map, there's the Fire Emblem 7 map, and there's the Fire Emblem... I don't know if it's Gaiden or if it's Shadows of Valentia,
Echoes.
Because I haven't looked at it yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
But the cool thing is it has these little features in the map, so if you are on the Awakening map, for example, all the menu sounds are the sounds from the menus in Awakening, but if you do the Shadow Dragon one, all the menu sounds are from Shadow Dragon, and it's just like a cool little touch. It's so good.
It is really cool.
Another neat little touch is that you can change the voice of the person telling you about what's going on in the map, depending
Yes.
on different characters that you unlock through, I guess, support, or generally using people. You unlock like their voice pack, so you can have Crom / Matthew Mercer telling you that you should sit far enough away from your TV and take regular breaks.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Like, I turned it on the other day, and Crom just like comes up over the menu going, "Oh, you're late today. Did you do anything special?" And I'm like, "This is the best game." I just sort of like
It's
lost my
Ebby's
mind a little bit.
accidental Crom husbando simulator.
Yeah.
Crom's
And
asking her about her
I
day.
much prefer that to the default is Anna for some reason.
Because she's like not in the game.
I thought she was though.
I mean, she
she's
is. You can
unlockable.
unlock her, but like she's not in like the core thing. So
She
it sort
did
of
my
makes
fucking
sense.
head in though. Like, being real, she'd like every 2 seconds she'd be like, "Now those are those are some profit margins. Now those are some profit margins," and I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Shut up."
I do love Anna,
Shut up.
but she did get a little bit incessant sometimes. So I don't
That's
have
probably
problems
like my one problem with the game. Is sometimes there's so much going on. I actually probably took a screenshot of it. Because you are constantly getting like notifications of stuff. I think it tries to sort of sort them out into a way that you're getting notifications at the right time. But it doesn't always work because these notifications stay on the screen for a set amount of time, like submission start or a certain thing has appeared in the battlefield. I got the notification for 500 enemies defeated when I was at 2,700 enemies defeated.
Yeah, it was the same problem in Hyrule Warriors. That like it would tell you about something happening long after it had happened. Like in a couple of instances, I had the pop-up saying "defeat these people" after I'd already defeated them.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3 minutes later, it would say "so and so defeated." I'm like,
Well, yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
yeah.
it gets really confusing sometimes because there's just so much going off at once.
I like being able to sort of Fire Emblem mode it and tell people to do something in particular.
Yes, that is
Although
a
at a
nice
certain
feature.
point, the AI does take over. Like if everything that you've told them to do has been dealt with, they will then go and fight things that they really shouldn't. That puts them in a great deal of danger.
That's my favourite.
Particularly final bosses, like the boss of the zone. If for whatever reason.
My favourite
they're
is when
super
all the
critical to
characters
it.
descend on that one thing, and it's just
Yeah.
all 7 of you just there.
Like, it's really cool, but if I'm trying to do something, like to unlock Anna's shop for that level or whatever, and then it's just constantly telling me that Cordelia's almost dead, I was just like, Cordelia, go over here, stand doing nothing, and she'll go do that, and then she'll fly back to die.
My tactic for the game is to, as much as I can, use Lissa and keep her at the allied base because she can heal up the allied base essentially.
Oh. I did not know that.
So sometimes I'll switch to Lissa, like deal with whatever's in the allied base, heal it up or whatever, and then I'll switch back to Crom, because I always play Crom. He's like level 80. And then what happens is, because the AI thinks I've dealt with that situation, Lissa then runs off to the other side of the map, and the allied base falls because I haven't been keeping like close enough attention to her. So I have to make sure that every time I switch back to that other character, that I go into the menu, make sure that they know to stay at allied base, and then I can go off and do whatever it is that I want to do. So it's an amazing game. I think if you are a fan of Fire Emblem, you should probably check it out, especially since it's already like going on sale. So.
Or just generally Warriors. I think that it's, from what I've seen, it's a pretty decent Warriors game as well.
Yes.
If Hyrule Warriors was a decent thing and this is better than that, then
I think also if they do what they do with every Warriors game, where they have like another version of it, I think it'll be very much improved with more iterations and more characters added to the rotation and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I was hesitant to pick up the season pass just because I know that in Hyrule Warriors, because of the way that the map works, I actually never made any use of the season pass at all, other than for the characters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Based
the
on
same for me.
Based on how history mode works, I will probably pick up the season pass and know that I will probably actually see some of that content and not feel bad about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new history mode maps. And if you didn't know, there was a free history mode map updated a couple of days ago.
I did not. I've not played it in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, they did a map for Liana and Rowan, who I think are awesome compared to Lana.
Oh, yeah. OC characters.
OC characters. I think they really fit in with the world of Fire Emblem, whereas Lana didn't fit in that well in Hyrule Warriors, I don't think. So, I'm down with it.
It took me a little while to get used to them, but yeah.
I was
after a bit,
convinced that Rowan was voiced by Robbie Damon, who voices Prompto and Akechi in English.
Yeah.
I was convinced it was him. It's not. It's not him.
Is it knocked?
No, I actually don't know who it is. I think he's just some dude that's
some rando.
just started doing voice acting fairly recently, so...
Fair enough. Well, good job. Good job, dude.
Good job, guy. And it does have Matt Mercer having conversations with himself, so what more could you want? Because there's support conversations between Ryoma and Crom, who he voices both of. And I think he also voices, like, random enemies as well.
Yes, he does.
Because I get so confused, because Crom is the voice that I've got on the game. I always have Crom in my map. Sometimes I've got Ryoma there, because he's really fun to use. And then, like, there's so much Matt Mercer in this game. If you're a fan of Matt Mercer, it's probably worth buying.
If you don't know, well, you probably don't know, Bill. Crom's Matt Mercer voice is basically Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
And then Ryoma is slightly angry, gruffer Matt Mercer, but still definitely Matt Mercer.
Oh my god. It's so good.
Matt Mercer Warriors is what...
Yeah.
I reckon that could be a game. I reckon he's voiced enough characters by this point for that to be a game.
I just want a Critical Role Warriors game where I can roll around as Grog.
Oh, that would be badass.
Smash stuff.
That would be so cool. D&D Warriors.
I'd love a Warriors game set in like a traditional fantasy setting like that. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I guess they haven't
like
done one.
Warriors.
Nah. Nothing like that anyway. It'd be so awesome. Oh.
And it runs surprisingly well, considering how many things are on the map.
My favorite, like, inconsistency with
down.
how it runs is Crom's cape physics.
I've not noticed that, to be honest with you.
I'll have to send you a screenshot from my Switch. But he does this thing where, you know how when you do your, like, special attack, it brings up that, like, strip where it's got the character's eyes in it?
Yeah.
His cape fairly regularly flops over his face, so it's just like this blue material. It's
the number of times though where
God.
I've accidentally activated my special because I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
My God, I thought I'd have gotten better at it.
I do that still all the time.
Oh look, I've used my special on nobody. Hooray! Still got to go through the animation though.
Yeah, I'm really pleased that Fire Emblem Warriors turned out as well as it did. I can't wait to see what they do with it in the future. I'm especially excited about Owain being in it because out of all the characters that I thought they would put in it, Wayne was on my wish list, but was not on my realistic, I think they'll put him in the game list.
He confused me because I legitimately thought that he was going to be a playable character that I'd not heard about. Because he has
he's a DLC
legitimate
character.
scenes and stuff. I didn't know that. But he has like legit scenes and things. You're like, okay, so when do I unlock him? I still haven't unlocked him.
Yeah, because you got to pay for him.
Well, alright then.
I'm just hoping that they change his moveset from every other dude that has a sword.
Well,
like,
his moveset will include his quips.
Some of them super don't make sense. Like, some of them do make sense in fact that, like, you can choose between playing Crom and Lucina, and it doesn't matter which one you choose, they both have the exact same moveset, they just have a different special. That makes sense because Crom taught Lucina how to fight. But then when you, like, all of the archers in the game, even the enemy ones, all have the same moveset, then that makes less sense to me. But
how many archers are there? I can only think of
3. Takumi, Sakura, and Anna.
Okay.
I don't know if
wouldn't
Anna's
know
the same
Anna.
because I haven't unlocked her yet because I don't know how to do that. But
Fair enough.
get the season pass. Get Lucina in a wedding dress.
A wedding dress.
For some reason. Any questions you have about it, Bill?
No, I'm gonna buy it eventually.
Yeah, you
'cause I
are.
love Warriors games. I like Hyrule Warriors, and I'm not like a vaunted Fire Emblem expert or anything like that. But
You
I just
will
want
be.
to smash
Well,
it.
I'm not either. I've only played 1.5 games.
You will.
There is my favorite Warriors game ever is being ported to Switch.
Yes, I was going to ask you
is
which
that
one it
3?
was.
Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate. That is the one where they mash together Samurai and Warriors and Dynasty Warriors, and instead of just like fighting historical battles, they were like fighting a fictional.
Giant enemy crabs.
I was
like-
going to say the same thing, Bill.
They're fighting like demons and stuff, and like it also pulls in characters from like some other Koei Tecmo games
Is
like
that-
Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that.
Is that the one you were saying has a character pool of like 80 or something stupid?
Yeah, because it brings both character pools from like both series into one game, so there's a lot. But it's a lot of fun. Like it's a little more goofy. It's a little goofier than like Dynasty and Samurai Warriors. Those games tend to skew not 100% serious, but a little more like on the grounded side. Whereas Warriors Orochi 3 allows them to kind of like, oh, this character uses tonfas or like little sticks, so you can unlock special weapons for everybody. And like this guy has giant corns on the cob to use. So it's a really fun It's my favorite Warriors game. It's really good.
I
It's
will
cool
probably
that it's coming
pick
to
that up then.
Switch. Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna-
It's worthwhile.
I don't know what you guys think if they're going to port a Hyrule Warriors
I'd buy it.
I wonder if they might do like
Legends again, but with some
Legends,
Breath of the
but
Wild
more.
stuff, maybe.
Yeah, like Hyrule. Maybe it would just be Hyrule Warriors 2,
At this point, probably, yeah. I'd imagine it'd be
and
that.
it'll be all the Legends stuff. It'll be
Because I was
new
thinking
bits
what
as well.
what characters they could introduce that haven't been in the game, because Legends got like Linkle and stuff.
Pretty much all of the champions.
All of the champions. They could do like a stack of 3 Toon Links from Triforce Heroes, which would be funny. Breath of the Wild Link.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild Zelda if they want. I don't care.
Yeah.
The prince, the fish prince.
Oh, yeah.
Him. He's my favourite,
Yeah.
and I love him, and I want him in Hyrule
Sidon.
Warriors. Yeah. I keep forgetting his name. But he's my favourite, I promise. Because he's great.
He's pretty great.
My laptop just made a noise.
Oh dear.
He's hungry, most likely.
So yeah. I'd be down
Cool.
if they did Hyrule Warriors. Again.
Make all the Warriors games.
Make all the game. Just make the games.
Port the old ones, bring the new ones.
You know,
I'd be down. I love them. I love their formula.
yeah, their formula's really good. It's especially worked quite well with Fire Emblem, which I was hopeful about, but still surprised by.
I think the other thing, that I liked about Fire Emblem over Hyrule Warriors is that Fire Emblem Warriors' story makes sense as a Fire Emblem story.
Yes.
Hyrule Warriors' story makes no sense as a Zelda story whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
So it sort of feels like it just fits better.
They've definitely... I don't know if they got, like, criticism for Zelda, Neither of Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors are canonical as far as I can tell.
No, I don't think so.
But I could see the Fire Emblem one being canonical.
Like if they chose for it to be.
I want it to be so bad because like the support conversation between Marth and Crom.
Mm-hmm.
I just want that to have actually happened. Because
I've only seen like one support conversation, to be honest with you. So.
It was just like, because Crom acted like a bit of a fanboy at first when he was like, no, you can't mean the Marth because he's been dead for thousands of years, but he was this incredible leader and it'd be amazing to meet him if he was here, it'd be great. And then they do meet and it's like really happy.
Yeah.
Happy Ebby. I want more of it though, so I'm gonna get the season pass. That thing, I don't particularly care for season passes, but it's one of the games that the base game has given me. Sorry, I'm going on about this a bit, but it's given me like 50 hours of enjoyment so far.
Yeah.
And you get like, I don't know how many more history mode maps. I think it's like 3 per pack, and there's 3 packs, so that's 9. And then you get all the characters. You get new like armor models and costumes and stuff. I don't know. I think it's good. And no one's talking about history mode, so I wanted to talk about history mode. So I'm good. We can move on now. And Kinross said it was a joy to play. Kinross never says that.
When did I say that?
In a tweet,
Nah.
I think.
Oh, did I? I know that there was a moment where you were like, you don't like any games I play. Or that I like. I'm like, yeah, there's loads that I do. This one, for example.
No, you said like, it was in regards to Permadeath. And you were like, I hope you don't mind me like going on about something because Fire Emblem Warriors has been a joy to play. And I was like, fucking hell.
Okay.
I was gobsmacked.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I've played. Like, I know that I said last time that I was going to try and finish some stuff up, and I never did. I started The Witcher 3 instead. I'm not very far in that. I'm only about 5 hours in.
I've been meaning to start that for the longest fucking time, and I just haven't.
Yeah.
Because I know the game's ginormous, and I'm just not going to get around to like putting the time I need into it right now, because there's other stuff I want to play. I need them to not release a game for like a month, so I can like play some old stuff.
This is
like,
the problem as a Nintendo
sucks.
person at the moment, is that every single month since March, there's been at least one game that I'm like, I've got to at least play that. I'm not necessarily kept them all, but
December
there's
is no
always been
exception.
something. And yeah, December's no exception. Xenoblade comes out at the end of the week.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So
Do you like The
I
Witcher?
don't think that
You
there's...
like The Witcher?
I'm enjoying it. There's like the combat is definitely better than what it was in Witcher 1 for all 20 minutes that I played of it.
Witcher 1's not a fun game to play. That's for sure.
I couldn't even get past the tutorial of The Witcher 1.
No, me
because it was
neither.
so bad.
But I'm feeling like there's a couple of bits that I need to reread the tutorial for because they're not quite making sense, and there's a few mechanics in the game that I can't quite work out how the hell to do, like crafting and alchemy and repairing weapons and stuff. I just can't get it to happen. But so far I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
Like I said, it's only been about 4 or 5 hours, so I'm not particularly far. I failed one quest already.
That's okay.
There's a whole category for failed quests. There's only one thing in it. It makes me sad. I tried to reload the game like 4 times to try and do it better, but I can't do horse combat. So, that sucks. Trying to think what else I've played. Bit more Stardew. Bit more Golf Story. Still nothing major. Stardew's patch has been sent for
Yeah, it's been like that for
authentication.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not been approved yet, but that's a patch that fixes Journey of the Prairie King and dramatically decreases loading times.
Yeah, I'm waiting
So-
to start my Switch playthrough for that patch, and I was reading that apparently it took them like a month to certify a Golf Story patch, so I'm not holding my
Yeah.
breath at this point. That's kind of
I
bumming me out.
can only assume that certification is taking so long because they're just being bombarded with indie games.
Probably,
they're
yeah.
just not expecting. I don't know, but similarly, in related addition to Stardew, new single player content's been teased by Mr. Ape in regards to a giant boat.
You figure besides the multiplayer, like a patch like that, like that's going to be a significant version patch, that there will be more than just like the multiplayer mode tacked on. So it's exciting. It's exciting to get that confirmation for people, because like you know, up till then you don't know, but you could assume, but like you don't know. So like it's nice to get like, hey man, like if you don't like playing multiplayer, this patch isn't just for that. Like there's stuff coming, which is exciting for a game that just kind of keeps on giving for people, like for free. Like it's insane and nice to see, especially since it's just one man.
Just one man and his dog, woof woof, went to mow a meadow. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I should really start keeping a diary. That's my goal for 2018. Keep a diary of the games I've played. We've played a bit more Splatoon together. That was fun, but we talked about that earlier. What else did you pick up for your Switch, Bill, in the end?
Nothing that I haven't really played. I've played really. I picked up I have Mario Kart, which is Mario Kart. I don't have to say anything about it. Picked up Rabbids. I picked up Stardew. I grabbed Golf Story. I haven't started it yet. That's really about it. Other than like Mario and Zelda, though, I haven't really started anything on it.
Fair enough.
Any of the other games. But yeah, that's it for Switch. For me.
Oh, I don't know how I didn't remember. We haven't recorded any content in it yet, but we've all played Comrades to a certain extent, I believe. Correct?
Yeah, I played the tutorial. That's about it, though.
I finished it.
No, as expected.
So I'm curious about that.
That statement.
Now, I like, in terms of like, and obviously I won't have you say anything. But like I kind of just looked like when people posted spoilers for like how it ends. But okay, I'll just see, because I know it's in context of the game that I already know the ending to. So it's like I don't really care.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. I'm really excited to see it for myself.
It's a cool ending. However, it's the end of the game is not a multiplayer quest. It's a single player quest.
Yeah. So there's interesting ideas in Comrades where there seems to be an emphasis on both single player and multiplayer. So it doesn't seem like it's just like co-op missions with your buddies. It seems like they really like made a story expansion here in a way.
It sort of feels like they didn't know what they wanted it to be. Like I haven't played anywhere near as much as Abby, but it feels like they wanted a single player story expansion, but they also felt like they had to have multiplayer in some way. I don't know.
I don't know how I'd explain it per se.
Like,
because you can play it entirely single player. You do not have to go online for this game. So if you don't have PlayStation Plus, but you were thinking about getting the season pass or whatever because you want to play Comrades, you can absolutely do that and not have that extra £7 charge a month or whatever.
At the moment, as early as it is in the game for me, it feels like the epitome of multiplayer tacked on.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think I
might feel different about it.
It's got a good base.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to do updates for it in order for me to think that it's worth the amount of money that they say it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because as an expansion, like the season pass is what, £19? Whatever, $25, £20. And Comrades on its own is 16.
Yeah, so I wanted to play Comrades with Andy, and I told him to just get the season pass, because then you get Episode Gladio, Prompto, and Ignis for like £4. And there are 5 each on their own, I think.
Yep. So, if you were considering picking up Comrades, you may as well pick up the season pass and get everything.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's a lot that I really don't like about it, but at the same time I obviously like it enough to have played 20 hours of it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there's probably going to be a point not too far from me because like we were playing together for a bit, and we were on a similar sort of level, and then all of a sudden you'd finished it. So I'm assuming that there's a point where it suddenly just sort of clicks.
Right, I'm gonna say
you're away with it.
I'm gonna say this because this isn't a spoiler, but very very early on in the game you are given the main mission of sending power to the 4 outposts. So that's Old Lestalem, the
Galdin.
Hunters HQ, Golden Key, and there's another one.
Some other middle of nowhere place.
It might be Lestalem to be... No. It could be Lestalem.
It's not Hammerhead.
No, it's not Hammerhead. Hammerhead's not in the game as of yet.
Yeah.
Which is what makes me think that they're definitely going to update it.
Yeah. Well, I think they said that they were going to add more stuff to it as well.
So once you get that main quest, you do that. That's endgame.
Right.
So as soon as you power up Golden Key, which is the last one you will do, because it's impossible for it to be anything else, that is when you go towards the end game.
Right.
Lore-wise,
So there is
it's very
content after
interesting.
that point.
It has one last mission after that, which is the sort of like tying it all together in terms of what happens in regards to some of the glaives over the 10 years.
Okay.
I think the biggest problem is the loading screens.
Yeah.
They seem fucked up.
They are very long.
Final Fantasy 15 was not great as it was. But,
well, the main game got away with it because it didn't have loading screens all the time.
No.
This one does. And also, apparently, it just straight up does not work on Xbox One, so...
Oh, does it not?
No.
Oh, dear.
It's apparently very,
get that.
very, very broken on Xbox One.
You gotta get that X in order to play it.
Let me have a look on the Reddit real quick, just to see what the issue was. But apparently, people on Xbox are very not happy.
Yeah, I would be too. But, yeah, loading screens, they're like a minute and a half long, and between each mission, you'll come across at least 3. Because Ebby, Andy, and myself had like 20 minutes spare, and I said we got time for one more mission, even though they're like 5 minutes long. And Andy was like, "No, we got like 20 minutes. We got time for at least 2 more." And then by the time we got back to the hub world, 20 minutes had passed. I'm like, "I told you we only had time for one."
And I don't like the way that multiplayer rooms work either, because it's not like you invite people to a party and you're in that party and you can go and do whatever quests. It's someone has to set up a room for a specific quest every time you go into a specific quest.
Everyone has to choose that specific quest and then search for the specific room and join the room within the time limit.
It's really like...
It's really Square Enix.
It's not good, and you know how I like to defend Final Fantasy to my death? There's a lot in this that I just straight up can't do. I think the base stuff that's there is very fun, because, you know, it's just Final Fantasy stuff with some more weapons, and eventually Ignis, Prompto, and Gladio are all going to be playable, which I can't wait for, but they aren't playable right now, so...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would like to play it. Like, even though we're kind of being down on it, I would still like to play it with the two of you.
Yes.
Because it is a lot more fun with people you know than the randoms or the AI.
How long did it take you to get to the end of it? Do you know?
20 hours.
Okay. Wow, that's not a lot.
But that being
That's a
said,
fair amount.
Well, I mean, what I was expecting. I'm so excited to play it, but like what I was expecting out of it was like something that you could probably grind forever, like not
you
forever,
can.
but like more than 20, like with people, like because
well, I haven't powered up, because the way it works is you get kilowatts for doing missions, and you power up places. I don't have all of the King's Tombs that are currently in the game. There are more that aren't in it right now. There's a lot of stuff that's just not in it. Like, and there's an achievement for spending 999,999 kilowatts of power, and that's, at this minute, impossible to do in the main game.
Do you... Because... Alright, this is going to seem like a stupid question. This was delayed by, like, a month, right?
2 weeks.
Like a month. Well, I don't know. Do you think that they just ran out of time?
I don't know.
And that they used those, like, they had a goal to have everything, and then they realised, oh crap, we're not going to do it, and they used those 2 weeks to try and cut it down into something that actually functioned independently. And that is why there will be more stuff later on, and also why it's the price that it is.
I think it is something that they have to add on to it. Like, there's so much that just isn't there, that's in menus, that isn't available. So there has to be updates for it. I will be gobsmacked if there is no way for you to go to Hammerhead at some point in it. Because Hammerhead's such, like, an iconic early place in that game.
Just feels a bit weird.
I don't know. But there is a live stream coming up in 4 days' time.
Ooh.
That will be the final active time report for Final Fantasy 15.
I don't know what that is.
Oh man.
Because that will be 1 year since the game came out. And I'm a bit scared. I'm a little bit worried. But yeah, the active time reports are basically where they announce all the features that are coming up in the game.
Oh, so it's like the directs. Where's my Arden?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out
my
soon.
DLC.
Because there's been rumours for a while that there's going to be a second season pass, so...
Mm.
But, like, there's still stuff to look forward to with Final Fantasy 15. Like, Episode Ignis comes out next month, which I'm excited for. There's the Windows Edition, there's the Pocket Edition, there's, like...
The Switch Edition.
Please.
Wait, sorry, no. That doesn't exist.
Please, Square. I can get rid of my PS4.
Joke.
I won't, but I could.
No, you can't, because you'll have to play Yakuza.
Then I can get
And
rid
Ni no
of it.
Kuni 2.
Then I can get rid of it.
Yakuza. My Yakuza sense is tingling.
But yeah. I think we were planning to play some Comrades for the channel, so maybe you'll see that next month. And then we can have a proper talk about it as we play, I guess. Because I sound really down on it, but like the base that's there is quite fun.
I do feel like...
And the character creator is
bad.
Awesome. I really...
Yeah, I've made sort of me.
Kind of.
Everybody thinks I look like someone else. But yeah, it's one of those things that when you're talking about it, you can't help but sound down about it, but is enjoyable to play most of the time.
It's just the loading screens that are the biggest thing, and like the constant parties and rooms and not having those and stuff.
Pretty much, it's the game getting in the way of itself, and so you're just constantly being reminded, like taken out of the zone of it.
Yes.
And that sort of sucks.
But the base that's there is good.
Yep.
And I like the fact that it expands on the Kingsglaive a little bit more, because the Kingsglaive, in my opinion, were like this super interesting facet of the lore, because they were all like betrayers of the crown and whatever. Or most of them were. If they weren't, they got killed. And I was always really fascinated by that in a way. And it was never really explored past Kingsglaive. And now they've explored it a little bit more and I like it. Though the implications of the story are a little bit weird, but...
Oh, it's Final Fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not even trying to make sense of the fucking lore that surrounds Kingsglaive. The Kingsglaive.
I'm not trying to make
now.
sense of the bloody lore of Final Fantasy 15.
I did my best.
I know. One day they'll print the wiki as a book.
They did.
I'll just read
They
that.
actually did,
Oh,
but
did
it's
they?
only available in Japanese, so it's a literal no
Well,
use
that's
to us.
useless, Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Cool.
play it
I
soon.
like Pocket Camp. It's one of those things where I haven't put enough time into to really formulate anything. It's just that I love the combat in 15. Like, I'm one of the guys who loves it, and like, so I'm excited even just to fight more shit. So like, that's cool with me. I I'm just just not sure like how long it'll last me. You know, like when you say you beat it in 20 hours, that's just a story. Like, is there more to do? Okay.
There's more quests and stuff that I haven't done because I'm not high enough level, and you can also. I say that the last quest is single player only, but there is a more beefy version of it that's level 50 that is multiplayer.
Okay.
Cool.
But I am nowhere near ready to do that. So.
Okay, so you've got more to prepare. So that assuages any fears that I had hearing that only took it 20 hours. So there was more to do. That's cool.
Yeah, I've played 25-ish
Okay.
hours of it so far.
Are you playing with the dub on, Abby, or are you playing in Japanese?
No, I'm playing in
currently?
Japanese.
Thank God, because I don't know. Like, I liked the dub in the base game. I thought it was really well done. I loved the main cast, despite everybody else was fine too, except for Cindy's annoying as hell.
Power.
The voice work in this, in the fucking comrades, like that dude you get in the truck with, I forget his name.
Libertus.
Holy shit! It's like they just found a dude off the street walking out of a bonanza and they threw him in the booth. It's like so bad. I couldn't even believe. It's like, oh, you're part of the King's Glaive. Come on and get in my truck. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, who the hell directed this? Like,
the only reason that I would turn on the dub is just to double check that I actually have Prompto's voice at the minute.
Yeah, you can have the main Chocobro's voices
oh, that's cool.
on your character.
Yeah, see, I'm on the side
It's
of like,
weird in that regard.
Like, I'll only play this game dubbed, but like I'm very tempted to turn it off for the fucking Comrades expansion because holy moly, some of these NPCs are like garbage tier, bottom of the barrel, scum on your toilet.
What surprises me is that I think it's the same voice actor that dubbed him in the movie. And I don't remember him being bad in the movie.
No, there's a direction problem here probably with this expansion. Like, it was bad. It's been bad.
That wizard came from the moon.
It was even worse. It just felt like cheap. Like the way the voice acts. I'm gonna turn it Japanese on probably for Comrades. But then I find like Iris in town, and I'll leave it on though because I got.
I have no idea what she sounds like in English.
I don't know. The only one person that I know who sounds like in English is Ignis, sort of Noct, sort of Prompto, and Arden.
How do you not know Gladio? Taste this for you.
I just don't know Gladio. The only thing that I know about Gladio is Bill's impression of Gladio.
To be fair, it's probably
that's
not
all
that far off.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
He's just like, how do you imagine Gladio to sound in English?
It sounds like Gladio, yeah.
Sounds like Gladio.
It knocked. That's how he talks the whole game.
Ultimate flavor experience.
The ultimate flavor experience. Knock, princess. Like it's there you go.
Fair enough.
But cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping into more because I've been looking forward to it, and I bought the season pass, so that means I have the episodes.
Prompto, play it, please.
to play through.
I don't care if you play episode Gladio or not, but you have to play episode Prompto.
And I'm mostly like I'm looking forward to just kind of playing the game itself, like doing some of the post games. I've done no post game, and also the episodes because I really like 15. Like whenever I turned it on and like the menu screen is like from after you beat it. You know, spoilers, the menu changes. I'm not gonna say what it shows, but like seeing that again, hearing that music, I'm like I like this game a lot. That was a good game.
Yeah.
I really need to get on top of the Assassin's Festival before it goes.
Yes, the Assassin's Festival disappears in January, so you have been warned.
Yeah.
I managed to do pretty much everything that I needed to do in that in a day, so there's not tons to do in the Assassin's Festival. There's a short story and there's some like stuff that you can pick up for the main game, like camera filters and stuff. It's okay.
Is that it for games played?
I've played LA Noire.
No?
Because
Oh.
Bill's got a lot of stuff to play to
I have
talk
a lot
about.
I have a lot of VR stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to bring up LA Noire really quickly because I picked it up on the Switch. Yeah, I picked it up on the Switch, and I think so far I've not done that much of it, but I've been quite pleasantly surprised by how good of a port it is, because LA Noire is one of my favourite games of last gen.
Yeah.
Probably like third or fourth, I don't know. And I had a lot of fun playing it. I watched Andy play it, and I've already forgotten like everything that happens, so I get to experience it anew. I guess. So the new stuff is it's enhanced specifically for Nintendo Switch, including a Joy-Con mode with gyroscopic gesture-based controls, HD rumble, and contextual touchscreen controls for portable detective work. Though I will never play LA Noire on a train or on a bus because there are literal dead naked women in it.
On a Nintendo console.
I know. We've come so far. Yeah, it's really cool. And it comes with all the DLC, which I've never played before, so...
Yeah, me neither. I love LA Noire.
I picked it up because it was on sale, but I hadn't opened it because I was waiting for more information from Ebby about how well it plays and things, because...
Yes, there is a 7GB download, because I picked this up without thinking, oh, I might need a micro SD card, because I don't have one right now. But it fits on the console fine.
Not if you buy it on the eShop, though. It will never fit. It is bigger than the Switches. If you want to buy it digital, you will need an SD card. It's like, I think it's like 36 gig or something. But, or is it 20 something, but the Switch requires X amount? I don't know.
For like the system.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about LA Noire is I think the graphics have aged, but the animations haven't, so it gets a little bit weird. Like the facial animations on the characters are still like amazing as they were back in the day.
But all the models
models look like garbage. It's really weird. Oh, I should talk about the things that they actually changed.
Yes.
Because me and Bill were talking about this in Discord yesterday, I think. They changed the truth, lie, and doubt way that's worded, I guess. They've changed that to good cop, bad cop, and accuse, which is so much better. Because it's more clear about what it is that you're doing.
So is bad cop doubt?
Yes.
Okay.
And good cop is you believe them. Because sometimes you would go doubt, and then you would be so aggressive at them that it didn't really make any sense. Because you were like, no, I just wanted to, like, I didn't believe them, but I didn't want to tell them that they were a knobhead or whatever. But
fair enough.
Yeah, I think the way that's worded is fine. I showed Bill the UI for it, though, and that I don't like.
Yeah, I saw. That's what I saw.
It looks like Fringe. You ever see the show Fringe?
Oh, man, Fringe was so good.
You know what I'm saying, Kid Ross, where the big words are in the environment? Yeah.
I mean, what I said about it was that either the words need to be smaller or the buttons need to be bigger. I think it just looks weird because
there's something not right about it, but...
I appreciate the change of terminology, though.
Yes, that I like.
Because, like I was saying to Abby yesterday, like you could doubt somebody in real life and in game or in any situation, but you don't have to be a dick about it. But like Cole Phelps was like always a fucking dick about it. Like you doubt someone, oh yeah, fucking tell me what. Like he just get all mad. It's like Cole, dude, good dog.
It was sort of like in Fallout 4 where you're like, I'm going to choose this dialogue option, and he goes off on a complete rant and is super aggressive. You're like, that's
it reminds me of the ProZD video where he picks like the hello option.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with ProZD?
Yeah.
Everybody's familiar with ProZD. But he presses like the hello option and it's like, hello, fucker. And like, when he presses, I'm going to kill your whole family for fun. Like, and it's just a hello prompt. Like, you never know. You never have a sense. So at least when you pick bad cop, you know you're going to be a cocksucker at some point. You know what I mean? You're going to be an asshole. So I appreciate that change, and it's much needed.
So I presume that the touch controls are for like rotating evidence, like in Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
Right.
You can scroll down like pieces of paper. You can change the camera with it, which is weird.
Cool.
And you can like tilt body parts when you're observing bodies.
Is that with the gyro or with the touch?
That's with the touch. I haven't used the gyro. I was just really surprised when it was like, oh, you can touch the screen to move the camera, because like, so not everyone is going to play LA Noire in handheld mode, but the fact that they went to the effort to make something like that just made me really happy.
Well, not only to play LA Noire in handheld mode, but to be like, I'm going to touch it. The touchscreen seems to be like the least utilized feature of the Switch at the minute, and I totally get why, because it's extra effort for something that next to no one's going to use. But yeah, it's nice.
It's good. It's a good port. I'm kind of surprised.
Like Rhyme.
Yeah, apparently
Crap.
Rhyme really not very good. Don't buy it on the
It
Switch.
It wasn't great on any console, to be fair, but it's even worse on the Switch.
So yeah, I'm hopeful for Skyrim because I do want to pick up Skyrim at some point.
I have heard that the Skyrim port is pretty damn good.
Here's a good port, yeah.
Damn it.
Somewhere in between the special edition on PS4 and the old version
Cool.
in terms of visual quality.
Because I'm in an iron about which one to buy yesterday, whether it was Skyrim or LA Noire. I ended up going with LA Noire because it was on Black Friday sale. It had like £12 off or something, which was enough for me to go, alright. But Skyrim was not on offer. And also the guy at Game was like, you don't need to buy Skyrim. You already played it. LA Noire, that's a good game. And I'm like, well, I've played both of them, to be fair, but yeah, sure.
I think Skyrim is definitely one that I will wait to be a little bit cheaper.
I do think £50 for Skyrim is a bit hefty considering how old it is. Though then again, they are trying
6
to
years old.
charge. They are trying to charge £45 for LA Noire, which came out in 2006. So
Yeah.
how is it that old? That can't be right.
That portability tax is quite hefty.
That can't be right. Is LA Noire really 11 years old?
11 years old?
No, it's not. It's not.
That was it.
I just got confused because the copyright was from 2006.
It's 6 years old.
It's 6 years old.
They started. It was a long time in development.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That didn't seem right for a minute. I was like, how fast is time?
Yeah, that's like that'd be like a launch title for the 360 PS3 if it was 11 years old.
Yeah, that was my bad. I just got confused by the fact that the copyright on the back says 2006, 2017.
Yeah.
LA Noire is more of a like concise experience as well. So if you want something quicker to play, I think LA Noire is it. Make an LA Noire 2.
Well, this is, I mean, this is a potential issue at this point because Take-Two, or whoever the publisher are, have said that every game that they publish from now on is going to be pretty heavy on the microtransactions because obviously GTA 5 made them like $1 bajillion.
Just let me
which
buy.
means that Red Dead Redemption 2 will
my
have
God.
microtransactions in what will probably be the online mode.
Yeah, I'll say the online mode most likely, like shark cards.
Yeah, which means that LA Noire 2, if that happens, will also have it. But I don't know how the hell you have multi-tracks. But the thing is, like, they came out and said that they weren't ever going to make more single-player content for GTA 5 because it wasn't financially viable.
Yeah, but Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold so many fucking millions of copies. How is that not financially viable for them?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same argument as to why Battlefront 2 needed microtransactions.
Stop making your game so fucking expensive then. Oh my god.
Yeah, but even then, it's not true.
DLC and season passes are one thing that I'm already like trying to come to terms with because I'm still not quite there yet. The worst one that they used to do, actually, sorry, this is a tangent, was online passes for games. So if you had a pre-owned copy of Saints Row 3, and you wanted to play it online with someone, you had to buy a £20 pass to
authenticate it
so you could play it online. That stuff was garbage.
On top of your Xbox Live.
On top of your Xbox Live.
On top of your internet.
On top of your internet. On top of the game itself.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, heaven forbid that you... Not necessarily that you bought it second hand, but you lost the code or got a new console.
Yeah. So it's no wonder that THQ went under, and I'm glad that no one seems to be doing those online passes anymore.
Yeah. We just got to get through this bit.
So yeah, I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that I still, like, a game isn't the price it says on the box anymore.
Mm.
I don't know. Microtransactions I'm never going to do in a video game that I pay full price for.
No. It's an interesting world where I think a lot of developers...
Stuff.
And that's where I'm going, is like, you see the success a lot. Well, we see it, but like other publishers see the success of a model like Overwatch's, and they see that like, wow,
Or
they're making
GTAs.
they're making so much money off of these loot boxes. Let's also do the same thing. But they kind of don't understand the fundamental practice behind the way either Blizzard does theirs or Rockstar does. I mean, well, Rockstar is a little more pay to win than you'd expect.
Rockstar's is 100% pay to win.
Yeah, Rockstar's is 1,000% pay to win. But you look at systems like Overwatch's, and you see the way that they handle it, and literally nothing gameplay related is in their boxes. Like literally not a single thing is that affects gameplay progression, gameplay balance. It doesn't create any haves or have-nots, and we have these situations where even Destiny 2 does it a good way. Like they do it the Overwatch way, where the only thing in those boxes are shit that like it just makes you look fancy or whatever.
What about the weapon mods that you get in it? That makes a difference.
Those weapon mods they're garbage.
But you can break them down into something useful.
But like you get so many playing the game though. Like
I guess
it's not really anything that it doesn't create any haves or have-nots. Like it still creates a grind that you like are a part of without them. And to the point where I don't even know if they're creating season 2 boxes for Destiny. I don't even know if they're in there, because they're just that much of a waste of space. But like, and you have situations like Battlefront where you have them step out and go, oh man, look at all this shit in here. Star cars. You have like crystals for heroes and all these different point systems and like that's not cool. And what makes me sad about it. What makes me sad about the way that it has gone is like it almost seemed like EA tried to push it as far as they could with this one to see what they can get away with,
and
they didn't get away with it.
They fucked it up really bad.
Yeah, they did.
And what makes me sad about it is this is a no-win situation for players, and it's a no-win situation for the people who work hard on the actual game itself.
Yeah.
The artists and the programmers and the sound designers and the voice actors and the people who write the story and people at DICE and Motive, the people who make this game, who like Star Wars and they know they fucked up with the first game and they wanted to come out swinging. They got a campaign. They have all these areas from the prequels, the original trilogy, and from the new movies, and all the DLC maps are going to be free. They were all pumped to announce that. And like I don't know what the plans were necessarily in-house for these boxes that were obviously always going to monetize the game, whether it was going to be cosmetic at the start or not. But then here comes the big fucking hand of the publisher and LucasArts or whoever's involved in these decisions that are not the people doing the art, who are not the people doing the music, who are not the people putting in the crunch hours to try to get this game out for Star Wars fans. No, it's the people fucking up there making these crappy decisions. They did it with Deus Ex. The Deus Ex developers for Mankind Divided had no idea these microtransactions were even going to be a thing until it was about to be pushed out the door. Then you have situations like this where this entire game's reputation is fucked, and everybody who was excited for launch, you're making this game for all these years. You're excited to announce these little features leading up to it. It's an exciting moment. There's Star Wars fanfare everywhere. The movie's coming out. And all of these people pouring their lives out, ruining their health, whatever's going on with crunch hours are disgusting. Then your whole entire game's reputation is fucked because some people wanted to make some extra bucks off of selling some star cards in these stupid crates. And it's so fucking sad and so annoying that game development has gotten to the point where they have to work crunch hours like that because these publishers expect these products, and gamers too to an extent expect these products that, and you have to expect these products as a consumer to be worth your $60. But you have these situations where these people are killing themselves, and then you have these moments where Big Bad EA steps in, and we had a moment like this with Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm not going to blame BioWare 100% on that game. EA can make themselves look good all they want. EA are the bona fide killers of whoever studios they buy, which is why I'm very worried for Respawn, who was just acquired by EA.
Yep.
And they come in and just fuck it up. They fuck it up. Like, before EA had a big hand in DICE's games. DICE with the old Battlefield games, their expansion packs, their map packs, those things were free community updates. Now, Battlefield Premium, every goddamn game, nickel and dime me for their maps, segment the player base, which is not the way things are done anymore, but they continue the try and true method because the hardcore Battlefield people are going to pay for it, and it's just so frustrating to watch this all go down every goddamn quarter. It's so sad.
Something interesting? Black Friday came around, and I was like, I'm kind of interested in the idea of Battlefield 1 and the campaign for that. I'll see if that's on sale. You can't buy Battlefield 1 anymore. You can only buy a deluxe edition that includes all the DLC, which has made it the same price as what the original game would have been. Like, it's like 40 quid on sale. I'm like, well, God damn, I don't want the season pass. I'm not going to play the multiplayer.
What is so scummy about that move is it's only been like a year since that fucking game came out, and you can get now if you chose to wait. Okay, I spent $60 on the game when it came out. I had to spend more money to buy the premium pass. If I would have just waited literally just 1 year, not like, oh, it's 2-3 years down the line, we want to get new. No, literally a year later, here's the Revolution Edition, which comes with the season pass, which was $50 fucking for premium pass for Battlefield 1. I bought it on sale, but still, you nickel and dime your fans, $110 on launch, so you can play all the goddamn maps down the line. Then only 1 year later, EA puts out a version that comes with all the DLC because they know no one's buying the fucking shit because it's too expensive for map packs. So like I hate EA. I just like they eat my shit. Like I hate them. Like they're
you said the same to Abby.
They're so annoying. Like, people give Activision shit, like, for what they do, but the microtransactions in Call of Duty are, and they maintain their consistency in how they are since Advanced Warfare put supply drops out for the first time. Mm-hmm. They are, some people might not like them, but they've never intruded on the Call of Duty for me in my life. The map packs can go to hell. I wish they didn't exist anymore, but they do. But they're old school map packs. They're the same as they've been since Call of Duty 4. Activision does far less to annoy me than EA does because EA has so many hands and so many franchises that people fucking care about. If you don't care about Call of Duty or Destiny, Activision doesn't matter. Like, EA has their hands on Star Wars, they have their hands on Mass Effect, they have their hands on Dragon Age, they have their hands on Need for Speed, they have their hands on Command and Conquer, they have their hands on all of these franchises that people give a shit about. Yeah, and then they just and they just continuously Titanfall put it out in a nice release window. EA for Titanfall, you bunch of incompetent morons. They suck. I'm so worried for Anthem. It's a game I'm looking forward to. I love BioWare, but do I get excited for Anthem? What the hell will happen at launch?
Don't get excited for Anthem because they're more likely to fuck it up than. But I made the decision over the last month over this like Battlefront stuff that I'm not buying any more EA games. So that's The Sims out of the window for me, which is a series that I really like.
Well, Maxis got shut down, so it's not even The Sims anymore.
That's also true. Because they do like shutting down their studios and stuff.
Speaking of The Sims, oh my god.
Sims 4 on PS4?
They just released it on consoles. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, I mean, I'll buy that for my sister. And I stole Mike. It's really cheap currently on sale because she loves The Sims.
Pretty sure it doesn't come with the expansion stuff.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, you have this game. It's like 4 fucking years old, whatever. You put the game out on the fucking store, and you don't release all the expansions. There's like 5 or 6 of them. You have fucking like pets on there, and it's separate on the store for full price. EA, dude. Typically when you re-release a fucking game on another platform, or you port the game, you include all of the DLC that's come with it. That's typically standard practice. It's been standard
basically
practice
a GOTY
for the last
edition.
5 years. Yeah. Oh no, no, you fuckers. Like, what the hell are you expecting? You're expecting these people to go out, spend $60 on The Sims 4 for PS4, a game that's been out forever, and then to spend an extra $30 per expansion? What the fuck? Like, what the actual hell? Like,
for fuck's sake. Until they sort it out, I'm not buying anything else from them. Like, I bought The Sims 3 from them, and they duped me into redeeming a code so I couldn't get a refund, which I have never forgotten. I wanted to play Unravel, didn't because it was from EA. I was interested in A Way Out, but I'm not interested enough to sort of, like, support this company that I find morally quite bad. So
that's like A Way Out is their way to like try to appeal to people, like, again, like, oh, look, we're not all that bad, look what we did, look at this really like experimental indie game we made, like, we're not just all that bad, look what we did, you should buy our stuff. Like, I'm not giving you money, go fuck yourself. Like,
I think
I'll buy them pre-owned. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm probably in the same boat of I will avoid EA, but EA is the one that I am most likely to forget that it's an EA thing. Like, I picked up Unravel because I adored that guy.
Yeah.
Forgot that it was going to give money to EA, but it helps that EA have said that they're just not interested in the Switch.
Yeah, I was just going to bring
okay,
that up.
that's
They said that
pretty much my primary console of choice at the minute.
Yeah, they said that
makes
FIFA,
it very easy.
I guess
18.
FIFA 18, I guess, didn't do well enough for them.
Yeah.
Although it says he would not say if FIFA 18 for Switch was a success for EA. The executive went on to state that EA is looking to fully understand what the demand is widely for the Switch before it considers bringing more games to it. So,
Yeah.
any company that wants to fucking hate my money, I don't want to give it to you.
Yeah.
Like, get shut down. I genuinely hope they go bankrupt, because I'm on the same page as Bill. I fucking hate them. So I want them to sell off all the like good studios that they have to other people.
Yeah, just release the studios. Make them all independent.
Like when THQ went down, they had to sell off all their assets, so maybe. You never know.
The future can be bright.
But
Vanquishing evil.
the general response on the Switch subreddit was, EA says that they don't want to be on the Switch. That's okay, we don't want you.
Well, it's true. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of companies, after the financial report that came out for the Switch, have come out and been like, oh, we're definitely, like, developing for the Switch. Whereas EA just haven't done that, so I'm not bothered. Ain't bothered, mate. I'm just not...
Fuck them. You know, and it's sad because, like, I look at, like, other publishers and what they do, and, like, for all intents and purposes...
Wait. Can we backtrack on our not buying EA games? I want to play Titanfall 3.
Oh yeah, I'll play Titanfall. Well, that's the sad. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see what they do. They bought Respawn. It's the first Titanfall title with EA owning Respawn.
Oh,
Respawn is very good with the community. They're very good with providing free content.
So
They're
are
very good with
DICE.
standing by their fans. So we're DICE. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's the thing. Is will it be the same?
Guys, just
you know?
wait a couple of weeks after launch. Someone would have
I'm
traded in
not
a
gonna buy it
copy
at
and
launch.
get a pre-owned copy. Just...
With season pass. Not a season pass, an online pass. They're coming back.
If they bring back online passes, I'm fucking done with gaming.
It'll literally just be EA. They're like, people are only buying our used copies, we've got to do something.
And you know what? I'm
Online
not going
pass.
to watch them next E3 because they bore me to tears every fucking time.
Their conferences suck. It's like
Sports!
Oh,
it's
God.
like,
when they had that that YouTuber.
oh my
talk about the
god,
cars.
Need for Speed. What the hell are they thinking? You
Also
know, it's
took
like,
the microtransactions out of that.
it's like I hate to politicize anything, but like and for anyone who might misinterpret my comment here, I'm very left leaning, 100% left leaning. But EA's conferences remind me of when like Hillary Clinton tried to appeal to voters by bringing up Pokemon Go. you just have like these old ass people on stage going like video games, like and it's like you're boring. Like yeah, she was like, oh, I see people are playing Pokemon Go. How about Pokemon Go to the polls? That's like Hillary.
Oh,
Come on, man. You're sinking your ship here. You gotta beat Trump. Stop it.
Oh my God.
Stop it. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And what's sad about it is, like, I look at other publishers, and for all intents and purposes, like, they do some things that are scummy every now and again, but, like, I look at Bethesda as a publisher, and I look at the games they put out, and the games that they, like, happily put, like, there's no reason, like, I mean, it didn't sell horribly, but like Evil Within 2 exists, and like that's cool. That's a single player game that has no season pass, that has no microtransactions. It exists. It fulfills its promise of being a survival horror experience from start to finish. Wolfenstein 2 exists, another single player game that is a whole experience from start to finish. Dishonored 1, Dishonored 2, those games had DLC, but they were complete experiences with expansion style packs. Like, you have them supporting the Switch, porting Skyrim over. You have them supporting VR platforms, which are all intents and purposes very niche and might not net them sales that they otherwise would get elsewhere without effort put in other spots. They put out Doom in VR. They're putting out Skyrim in VR. They're working on Fallout in VR. They put Doom on the Switch. They're putting Wolfenstein on the Switch. They put Skyrim on the Switch. Like, this publisher like kind of gives a shit, I think, about like the overall scheme of like, hey, all this cool stuff exists. Let's kind of be there. And like people like single player games, let's put those out still. And it's they may had a misstep with their E3 conference this year, but I think overall I feel like as a publisher, I feel like I would trust a game with Bethesda's name on it. Whereas I see EA's name on it, I go, no, I don't. I don't know what to expect from this. Because you look at Need for Speed, the new one, the progression is tied to fucking RNG. You get car parts by literally a real slot machine. Like, they don't even hide the image of it. Like, all loot boxes are slot machines in a way. You're gambling away your money on stuff that's going to pop out of that. But this literally, mechanically, visually, it's a fucking slot machine. Yeah, you're not even hiding it with this one, buddy. Like it's a racing game. Let me race, earn money, and buy my parts. Don't make me pull a lever to get a sick brake pad. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'd just like to point people who are curious about EA's past as well to the Wikipedia page for Electronic Arts. They have a very, very long controversy section, so...
There's also the Imgur page of companies that EA has shut down. And it gets longer every time. It's terrifying.
Yeah, Visceral shut down since we last spoke, so...
Yep. Down goes that Star Wars game that was looking pretty cool.
Oh no, they got rid of it because people didn't want a single player experience.
Fuck off.
I think that's the reason that they gave.
They clearly don't know what people fucking want. Fuck off, company.
And that's like back to my point about Bethesda. Like when because that was the big controversy. Like, single player experiences, are they dying, or do publishers not look at them as things to put money into anymore?
I think everyone acknowledges that single player is still a thing.
Absolutely.
EA.
You look at Nintendo, you look at Sony Studios, you look at Nintendo Studios, and not so much Microsoft Studios.
You look at Ubisoft.
But you look at these companies, they're still putting single player games out. And
Square Enix is entirely made off of single player games.
Single player experiences are always the most talked about of the year too. Like, it's not like... Yeah, everyone's trying to chase that games as a service money in a way, and they'll do it any way possible by shitting on things that are worthwhile, and it's sad. But and on a happier note, that was an angry half hour.
I think it was a thing we should have talked about anyway.
Yeah, it was big.
Bollocks.
We don't usually do news, but that's important because it's fucking. I was looking forward to Battlefront 2 a lot. Like, I liked the first game enough to where, like, okay, I would buy the second one because I know they'll take feedback and I know they'll add, and they did. They added a lot more content. There's a single-player campaign. There's a lot more maps. There's a lot more varied locales. There's a lot more items, weapons, and things to do. A lot deeper progression. And, well, look what they did. They fucked it up.
I wasn't going to pick it up at launch. I was going to wait for it to be on sale, make sure that everything ticked over.
Sorry.
And... then I bought something and it came with Star Wars Battlefront 2 as a bundle item, and everything went to crap. And I'm like, I'm just gonna trade this in. I played it for like 10 minutes, saw that I didn't really like how it was playing, and I was like, nah, off you go, bye bye.
And even right now, they turned off the microtransactions. But
for the time being,
they'll turn those things back on.
Well, they said that they're only turned off for a little while. They'll be back later. Once everyone's like, man, the grind sucks. I want them back.
Yeah, I like the hopeful side is like, oh, they're turning them off until they rebalance them and make them cosmetics. But those things will come back and they'll be the same as they would have been, because it takes a lot more time than what you'd expect to rebalance an entire game's economy when it comes to microtransactions. You don't just go, oh, okay, those suck, delete, and then no.
Particularly if they're as involved and like. The game is built around them. Yeah.
I just want to point out, I was looking at the defunct studios.
Oh, the Imgur.
No, on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, okay.
There's Dice Canada in London, Ontario. Started in 1998. Acquired Dice fully in... EA acquired Dice fully in... on October 2nd, 2006. Closed Dice Canada Studios hours later.
Yeah. Yeah, they shut down bits of everyone. They got rid of Bullfrog.
They got rid of one of the BioWare studios, did they?
Yep. East?
Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh, it was merged into a different studio. So...
Probably shut that one down as well.
Which, I'm sure resulted in job losses. Anytime mergers go, I'm sure they don't carry everybody over.
Nope.
Which is... Yeah.
So, I don't like EA. I'm not going to support EA. Let's do a happier thing.
Yeah. I bought a VR headset.
Number
Which
one
one?
question: are you gonna buy Final Fantasy 15 Monsters of the Deep?
You know, I was considering it, even if it's not good. I was considering it just so I can sit with those guys in VR. Because I love VR. I bought the PSVR set, the Skyrim bundle, because Skyrim is currently a time exclusive for PSVR for the time being. And they released a bundle for the PlayStation 4 that was relatively cheap for what it comes with. Because typically it's an expensive purchase the way it is, but for the Black Friday week, it was $350 for the headset, the Move controllers, the camera, and the game.
Oh my God.
Which comes with everything you need. 'Cause the Move controllers, if you buy those alone, they're $100. So like this was because you can just get the core headset, but it doesn't even come with like the camera or the moves. I mean, the game itself is $60. So like this was like, okay, I feel like if I want to get VR, like I can buy an Xbox anytime kind of deal. I started rationalizing it because like anytime you make a purchase that's big, you're driving home going, should I have done that? Like, should I really have just done this?
I do that with like my food shopping. So
Yeah.
Because like it was between an Xbox and this for me, and like I think like practically like maybe I Xbox might make a little more sense but at the same time I own a pretty decent handful of games in the VR right now, and there's stuff I'm looking forward to, and I feel like I'm more willing to buy something that I wouldn't otherwise be interested in, or that maybe otherwise wouldn't be a game that is like, oh, I'd play that without VR because it's VR. Because like I haven't had the opportunity to have my own set. Like I've played PSVR at friends' houses multiple times, and it's always been a situation of like, okay, we're taking turns every 20 minutes, you know, everyone's having a good time. Like, you know, I never get to what was that a sink?
I think that was Kit Ross opening a bottle of fizzy.
Sorry, I
drink.
thought that I muted. Sorry. Sorry. I can't cut it out now, you bastards.
Yeah, it must remain now. It's canon of the episode now because I brought it up. It was just like a really prolonged.
How does that sound like a sink anyway?
It just sounded like like the sink water running. And it was long noise.
Yeah, because I was trying to like not make it explode over me. God damn it.
I haven't had the opportunity to like sit down by myself and like spend 3 hours in VR without like someone going, hey, can I try, or can I, you know, mostly because I pass it along when I play with friends because I feel like I'm hogging it if I'm on it for more than 15 minutes. So I haven't, I
see that you've got the hydration system down though.
What's that?
Someone passing you a cup with a straw.
Passing me a cup with a straw.
Like when you want to drink with the headset on, and you're holding two Move controllers.
Oh God, you saw my Snapchat. Yeah, so I had family over to check out Skyrim, and my two cousins were over, and my cousin had the headset on, and he just kept. We bought slushies beforehand, and we were sitting there, and my cousin's playing, and it's his brother with us, and he's like having him feed him slushy while he's in Skyrim, and it was my cat was mankind has regressed because like this is like he's sitting there like in his chair going slushy me, and like his brother's like no, like but that's that's where we'll be. That's where we'll be in 20 years. But the thing that excited me, and the reason I bought this, well, one, Skyrim pushed me over the edge because like I there hasn't been a VR game that has been like, okay, you could play this game for like 100 hours type deal, like a full-fledged like RPG in VR. And I love Elder Scrolls, I love Skyrim, and I love VR, and I know what it's like to experience VR. I tried Resident Evil out a few months ago. So the thought of playing Skyrim in VR was like, it's a hefty price tag, but like I feel like if I really get into it, it will be one that's worth it. And the things that were worrying me were like, okay, I'm not typically prone to motion sickness. Like I've tried VR multiple times. It's never affected me. But Skyrim is a game with full locomotion, and you are out in these open worlds. Like it would really suck if I made this purchase and I bought this game and I was getting nauseous. And I also am like, hey, will I actually play this for more than an hour after the novelty wears off? All of those worries instantly wash away as I'm on the... Now, have either of you two tried VR before?
Oculus.
At all?
And Vive.
I've tried the HTC Vive.
I've not tried Morpheus, PSVR.
I don't I don't like VR that much because I get a little bit claustrophobic when things are covering my face.
Gotcha.
And also, the HTC Vive was pretty heavy.
I think that
I played Job Simulator, if you're curious.
yeah, I think that the Vive can be balanced well because I have a slightly larger head than you, so it fit me a little bit better. But I didn't want to fiddle with Andy's strap alignment, so I think that does make a major difference. I still have the issue where I can see the pixels both for the Oculus and the Vive, and that is my biggest problem with VR, is that it still feels like I'm just smashing my face against an LCD screen.
See, that's what I'm curious about, because like the visuals aren't up to snuff like on any of the platforms really, but like to me what really immerses me, and what's really immersed me in Skyrim especially, is like I think the scale of everything, and you kind of, for me anyway, again it's different for everybody, like any kind of visual imperfections kind of just wash away after 20 minutes when like I'm walking up to Dragon's Reach and Whiterun, and like I'm limited to what's on my TV when I'm playing Skyrim normally, because like, okay, what's off camera is off camera, like that's just the way that is. Whereas like everything's always kind of in my peripheral in VR, like the scale of the archways going into Dragon's Reach to talk to the Jarl, or entering Dragon's Reach and being in the main like mess hall where the Jarl is sitting across the room from me, and like the fire is flickering from the fireplace, and like just being enveloped in a world in VR is kind of like my favorite like technological advancement in games in a while.
I think my periphery was also like I was aware that there was blackness at just at the edge, so I don't know whether that's another thing of if I'd had everything like adjusted properly.
Yeah, I don't know. You might these are like, I haven't noticed it. These aren't things I've noticed. And again, I haven't used the Vive or the Oculus or anything like that.
Yeah.
And on the weight topic, I haven't used those, but as far as things I've read, that the PSVR is one of the more lightweight headsets out there. They've done a good job comfort-wise, from what I'm reading. It's the easiest one to just slap on and use, and also is the most comfortable.
It's a shame that I don't like VR that much, because I do really want to try and get my face as close to Prompto as possible.
I think
that's...
I have a similar issue to Evie of I don't like to be closed off. I don't mind stuff being in my face. I don't like stuff being in my face and in my ears, like to be completely closed off. I just have an overactive imagination. I'm going to assume that something's actually behind me. I'm a little bit paranoid in that regard. Or that if I am in a room with someone else, that they are messing with me. So I always play with only one ear, so that I can
the one and only time I played it, I had to have Andy in the room with me. Like, I told him he couldn't leave, because if like I tripped over something, or if something like felt weird, I wanted him to be there to like help me take it off, because I didn't want to break it. Because if it was mine, I probably would have just like thrown it off my head, but it wasn't mine, and headsets are very expensive.
To be fair, he's thrown it off his head. When I told him to play a particular game, he threw it off his head. So it's all good.
Yeah, so it's a shame that I'm not going to be able to put my face up against Prompto, but
it's something that bums. It's something not bums me out, but an aspect of it bums me out is that like I'm grateful that like a lot of the things that like people have issues with VR like don't affect, like motion sickness for one. My cousin gets really motion sick when he plays, and like he, to the point where he won't even like put him on, like even look at like Skyrim or anything like that. Like he tried it once when it first came out. I was like, okay, I'm just not. It makes me feel too weird. And even like being susceptible to like lower image quality, or being susceptible to like even claustrophobia. I'm typically claustrophobic. I hate being enclosed. Mostly body and limb control though, more than like face and stuff like that. Like if I'm tightly packed into a thing, I start getting really anxious.
Yeah.
Cause it bums me out that like because one of my favorite things to do with VR is to like show it to people, like even when I haven't owned it, like when my cousin would bring his over, and like I would show my dad Resident Evil, like a game that he's already played, and like putting him in the headset. Like there's a scene where the family who is like the antagonist, the Baker family, like they set you up at a dinner table, and just kind of being at that dinner table with them sitting all around you in VR, like showing it to my dad and seeing his reaction. Because like to me, VR is kind of like that to me, that's like kind of the next step in my eyes, because like we've kind of been getting the same advancements like generationally for a while since we entered the HD generations. Like graphics are a little better, the frame rates are a little better. There hasn't been a thing that's like really, in my opinion, kind of revolutionized how we play it. Like the Wii motion controls kind of did that for a little bit. Like in a lot of people's eyes, like, oh, I can bowl, and stuff like that. But that didn't really catch on. Like, you know, we saw Xbox with the Kinect and they tried to, you know, motion controls, but nobody wants to really do that, you know? Whereas like VR experiences, you don't need to use motion controls for a lot of them, and some of them require them, but like something like Skyrim, you can envelope yourself in with a DualShock 4 and like and the headset on. You can sit down and like just kind of be enveloped in Skyrim, and it's still an immersive experience. Like I put the headset on my brother, who had never tried VR ever, but he loves Skyrim, loves Elder Scrolls, and I had him sit down. I go, hey, have you tried VR? He's like, no. I put the headset on, and he goes, here, put this on and just walk around. I showed him the controls before he put it on, so he knew what he was doing. And like seeing his reaction, like this 23-year-old man, seeing his reaction turn into that of a kid, like oh, I'm in Skyrim. Like that was worth the price of admission alone. And then to know that he ran downstairs and was telling my parents about it, like unprompted, was like, these kinds of things give me life. Like, and they make me love video games even more. Like, I am like way too hyped about the future of VR. Like, I'm seeing it now and it's impressing me. It's blowing me away. Like, playing Skyrim's blowing me away. But just thinking about if it continues to like stay, it's gonna stay niche for a while. But as long as it sticks around, and people are developing things for it, and the technology advances, and they're still developing things for it, as long as PSVR still exists in the next gen, like, I'm way too excited to think about what we'll get. Because the experiences I've had on my own in my house with PSVR and playing Skyrim alone, and then moving on to things like Rec Room and Super Hot and playing Thumper in VR, like, I am like so excited. Like, Skyrim, that opening carriage ride in Skyrim, the sense of scale when you're sitting there, like, these NPCs are now your size, like, and some even bigger if they're Nords or whatever. Like, if you're standing up playing, you are toe to toe with these NPCs. You walk up to a Whiterun guard, like, it feels like you're standing next to him. Like, when he's in your periphery, it feels like they're walking up to you. You turn around, there they are. You go to a shop, and you're standing at the counter, and like all of their goods are there on the, and like all of these items and all of these like objects that are sitting on tables, on desks, on shelves, on the ground in dungeons or wherever you are. All of these things are the size that they would be if you were in the game. So like soul gems are a lot bigger. I didn't expect soul gems to be the size of my forearm, but they are. I didn't expect like potion bottles to be as big as they are, or like just certain things that I'm so used to seeing so much of. Like, they're to scale in a way that immerses you. Like, oh wow, look at this. And they made it so that there's two ways to control the game: the move controllers and the DualShock. And using the move controllers gives you hand agency. So like, you have your right hand, your left hand. You could, like, if there are things on tables, you can reach your hand out and grab it and then throw it behind you or throw it at people. Like, you can grab butterflies out of the air or bugs out of the air. And like,
the true
it just kind
Skyrim
of adds
experience.
yeah it adds like a level of like being there that I'm glad exists. Then like, if they were to just slap DualShock controllers on or whatever, like having hand agency like that is so cool. And like, it's just like going into a dungeon, or like walking up to a dungeon that isn't just a cave. Like, it has a big entrance and like a big like it has architecture to it, like these ruins and this giant door. Walking up to it in VR, like, it, like, I'm gonna keep using the word sense of scale, because like, it's really the only way I could describe it, is like, you, like, it's really, it's hard to describe in words without like even showing someone with the headset on, because even if I were to show someone a clip, it still looks like they're just watching Skyrim, like, rather than being in there. Like, I was walking up to this dungeon last night. I'm actually gonna upload the video because it was really fun, and I talk to myself while I play every video game, so like, my voice is in there. Walking up to this dungeon, and that was not my first dragon encounter, but my first random dragon encounter. Because the first one you fight is scripted. You fight him outside Whiterun. You know, it's always going to end the same way. And I was walking up to this dungeon, and I hear the dragon screech, and I see him flying up by the mountain. And like, just turning my head up and looking up and seeing it flying over me, and then having it land in front of me, and like having the fire and ice just crashing at me, and in the way that it is in VR as I'm standing up in my room, like, unbelievable. Like words like an experience in games that like I don't get often. Like I don't get to experience these worlds that I'm so familiar with in any other ways aside from it's on my TV, and and that's not taking anything away from those experiences at all. It's just as somebody who loves like the idea of being in a virtual space, like ever since like watching 90s cartoons, like I'm surfing down the internet in a weird blue neon Tron like tube, like just being able to like role play and immerse myself in Skyrim again, but in a different perspective is so cool. I think you're gonna ask a question, Kidros.
Yes. So if this is in relation to scale, if people are the right height for you, how does the game work in like a transition between being sat down and stood up? Like, do you have to be stood up the entire time for things to make sense in terms of scale? Or
you could. I played my first session sitting down. The VR you can always set it to be like the center of the screen. You can configure it to be wherever like your headset.
So like you tap a button and it resets.
Yeah. So like, if I'm like, I'm tired, I got to sit down. And in relation to that, I always keep a chair right behind me. One, so I know where I'm standing at all times. And two, so that if I'm like, okay, this sucks, I gotta sit down, I can just sit down and then hold in the options button, and it will recenter the screen back to where I'm sitting. Okay. But if you don't recenter it and you bend down or go to sit down, you will be lower on the screen. So like, if you're
not careful, you're going to spend the entire time just crotch staring.
Be a midget. Like, because if there's an item on the ground, you will have to reach down and grab it. Like, so like everything is like, you can't just like hover your hand over it on the ground, then it'll come up to you. Like, you will have to get a little closer. So like, it recognizes where you're at in relation to like up and down. Like, so if you go to sit down without repositioning the screen, it will think you're just like leaning down or sitting down. And it
okay, so in a related vein, if you are in sit down mode and you need to pick something up from the floor, how do you do that? Because you're not going to be able to go far enough down. Also, you're sat down.
You don't necessarily need to be right on top of the item. Like, you will have to reach down, but there will be there's like a certain threshold that once you cross it, you'll get the option to pick it up. Like, okay. In terms of sitting down, like, yeah, you won't have to actually go 6 feet down to grab it. Like, go through your floor.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. I
didn't go well for the giant fringe.
I don't stand every time I play. Like, it's an extra level of immersion being able to stand next to NPCs, and like, because like when I'm like standing there and looking around, like that feeling of being up, like standing up, looking down, feels more like I'm really looking down than if I'm sitting down and my character's standing. Like, there's the weird ways that VR tricks your brain into thinking you are in certain positions in certain ways. But like, the first time I stood up playing it after my first session, like, just walking up and fighting a bandit like at a random camp and having him like be standing toe to toe with me fighting, like, this is the biggest I've ever seen a bandit in Skyrim, like literally standing there life size as I swing my move controller and hit him. I mean, like, seeing his body just flop on the ground and like looking down as I'm standing here, like, Jesus Christ, like,
does that mean you can make yourself 12 foot tall if you set yourself at standing whilst you're sat down and then you stand up? Do you fly?
You very likely could make yourself very tall. The thing with the PSVR is, depending on where you are, your headset lights and your move controller lights always need to be in range of the camera. So if you go off camera,
but I mean, if you're sat down like you are at your desk now, and you're stood up 6 foot tall in Skyrim, and then you stand up, but you don't recenter it, do you fly?
That I'll have to get back to you on.
Okay.
And try it out. Because it'd be a fun way to break the game. In a way.
Just keep finding a way to somehow loop that, and then you can fly all over the world like a dragon.
And then I end up in Oblivion. I cross gen. But yeah, it's the controls are really well. The move controllers work really well. Like, having you, like, being able to like take my right hand out and like rotate my axe around, which is something you couldn't do before. Like, being able to see all angles of my weapon and like use that, like I'm not typically a motion control guy usually, but in this case, like, in terms of VR, like, I will use them any chance I get, just because it does add something to the experience. And then even on my left hand, having like fire magic and being able to hold my hand out and and like just blast people with fire. It feels so good. It's just such an. I think I might stream it this weekend actually, because it's just I am having such a blast with this experience. Beyond the fact that I'm realizing how much I actually really like Skyrim. It's been a while since I played Skyrim. Been like 6 years almost since I really seriously played it, rather than just messing around with some mods and like playing it for an hour. Like I'm playing it and doing quests and like exploring, and you play a little differently in VR. Like you like are more prone to look in different corners than like, okay, and I haven't fast traveled yet. I refuse to fast travel in VR. I'm taking everything as slow as possible to see the sights and see places that I haven't seen. And because I'm doing it that way, I have found several areas that I did not know existed in this game. And that is exciting to me as somebody who is re-experiencing a game that I thought I knew inside and out. And getting to experience bits of it that I've never seen before in VR is exciting, especially since I haven't done any of the DLC ever. I haven't done Dawnguard. I've never done Dragonborn. So I get to go to Morrowind, Solstium, and VR, which is really
and you
exciting
get to build a house.
Yeah,
yes.
you do.
That's creepy. I get to build a house and marry somebody in VR. That's very exciting.
It's like
It's
real
goodbye
life, but probably
And
better.
adopt a child.
Yeah, it's been a really great experience. It's one that I don't like do for too long. One, because like I keep forgetting Skyrim's 100 hours, and like my brain just wants to kind of savor this experience. But I'm like, Bill, you don't need to do that, dude. Like you have way too much of this game to play.
So,
but also,
so what
again,
is your average VR session length?
Well,
Now that you're not passing it over every 15 minutes.
yeah. Well, yesterday I played about let's see, all total in the day. Now my average length like
Single stint.
in succession, yeah, has been about 2.5 3 hours.
Jesus.
All total, like yesterday I put about maybe 6 or 7 hours total into it though, broken up. Playing different stuff because I bought Superhot VR, which is a power trip. Do either of you know anything about Superhot itself? Like
Yes.
the gameplay of Superhot?
And also the VR is weird.
Yeah, I saw your
Have
video
you-
of the
so-
VR on Twitter.
I didn't see the video on Twitter, but yeah, I know that it moves when you do, and like that was the basis for Superhot, the game, and then
Yeah.
the VR is just even more.
So there's no full movement in the VR game because like the control limitations and stuff. So it kind of like sets you up in a little arena where like you are standing there and the level starts and the enemies are coming at you from different directions and you have different solutions to kill them all. And then after you kill them all, you'll grab a little triangle and it will move you to the next portion of the level.
Okay.
So movement's taken out of the equation, but what is added into the equation is just that full ability to dodge a bullet with your body and like be able to like duck and weave behind actual physical cover in the game. That like you like it just feels so badass. Like I have never felt more badass in my life than playing Superhot VR than like grabbing especially when you fail a level multiple times and you start to memorize the pattern. Like you just know that bottle's on the table next to you and you don't have to look. You just reach down, grab it quick, smash a guy in the head, and as you do that his like gun flies out of his hand and you lean back and grab it as you're dodging a bullet coming at you with your body, and then you I am so glad I bought that. I almost didn't buy it because I'm like, I have enough to play, but I did, and I'm glad because nothing.
Superhot is one of the things that I wish I could play in VR if either someone had it or I didn't have these niggles
so
with
cool.
VR.
It is the one game that has made me realize that I need to kind of fix where I'm standing though, because I punched my wall yesterday.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Trying to punch a guy in the face in Superhot.
Oh no.
And, so I've started to become. It's not that my room is super tiny. It's just I unknowingly start to move when I'm playing this, and sometimes I'll move and I won't know I've moved too close to the wall yet until I go to punch. And yeah,
What you need is a leash.
a little chain chomp thing and attached to my body. Yeah, what else? The other thing, the main thing besides Skyrim being incredible, and I will put up some videos, and I do want to stream it so people get an idea of it. Is a game that's been out on PC VR for a little while. It's free to play. It's called Rec Room. Have either of you heard of Rec Room?
No.
I first saw it like seeing Twitch streamers play it because it was kind of one of those VR games where that is like kind of perfect for like Twitch and YouTube. So the way Rec Room works, it's a free-to-play game, and it is cross-platform with PSVR and PC VR, which is awesome, which keeps the community big, which is nice, considering that VR is still niche. You're not going to get as many people as you would on a normal platform. So the way this works is you create a little avatar, and after that, you enter the rec center, and that's just like any other rec center in real life. You know, there's basketball courts, there's showers, locker room, you know, different things to do, different sports activities to do. But the way the rec center works is the rec center itself serves kind of as, and this is my best way to describe it nowadays after in a post-Destiny world, is it's kind of like Tower in Destiny.
Yep.
Where you have all of these other players running around with you. And all of their mics are enabled, and proximity chat is on. So everybody's running around in this VR space as their little avatar with all these stupid little things to mess around with, like picking up water bottles and basketballs and frisbees and ping pong balls and whatever have you, all hanging out in this social space. So you have that center social space. And now alongside that, lining up the walls of this rec center are all of these doors leading to different mini games. And that could be paddleball, dodgeball, laser tag. There's like 3 different PvE style quests, like you go through like a Left 4 Dead type deal where you run through and you fight little monsters, like a little funhouse type thing, and you get armor and things. There's disc golf. There's a few other things I can't quite remember, but my favorite is charades. There's a 3D charades minigame in there. So Skyrim is probably my most impressive VR experience so far, but I think my favorite experience in VR so far has been playing this game with my family and friends, with other strangers, because what has been missing, in my opinion, from video games, now, the toxicity hasn't been missing. People are still assholes when given the opportunity through either voice chat or text chat, but what has been missing for me is, ever since the invention of party chat, nobody actually talks to each other at all anymore in anything. And myself included, I don't make an effort to do it anymore because nobody will respond, so I don't even bother. But like back in Halo 2, when like, oh my god, it has voice chat, like everyone was on the mic, and like I made actual friends online. Like I don't do that anymore. Like it's just not a thing. I don't meet people in games. But the closest I got was Destiny 1 raiding, which kind of brought a little bit of that old school feeling back. But what's happening with Rec Room, and why I'm having such a great time with it, besides me being in VR, like I'm in this virtual space, and there are other players running around me in my periphery, in front of me, behind me, what have you, like just kind of hanging out. And it's so weird to like experience until you actually do it. Is like people are talking to each other, and everyone's been like really nice. And like I don't know if it's just like the high cost of VR keeps douchebags away, but like everyone, even the kids, have all been really nice. And like going in and playing charades, I could sit there and play charades for hours and hours and hours. And I have footage of it I'm gonna upload at some point on Twitter, just because like it is so fun to be standing there at your podium on your respective team, being able to look across the stage and like see other players all talking and trying to figure this out as if you were really there. And it's such a weird experience to kind of take the headset off and like, oh man, I was just in a rec center with like 30 other human beings all talking. The proximity chat helps the immersion because like it feels like you're really there. People are talking behind you, in front of you, to the side of you. It is so fun. Like I just, it is amazing to me like how fun it is. And the mini games aren't particularly impressive. Like it's held back by some of the movement limitations with VR, but it's more than the sum of its parts. Like it's like it is a really cool experience, and like it makes me excited for MMOs in VR, even if it's a bad one. I don't even care. Just being able to walk into a town with other players in VR will eat away my life, because I could honestly sit here in Rec Room and just play that for hours, just talking to people. What's really awesome, my favorite thing about it, is it's really clever the way that it handles like adding friends and like creating parties. Is if you walk up to a player and you shake their hand, it'll add them to your friends list. If you walk up and fist bump someone, it will add them to your party. If you walk up to someone and someone's being a dick and you hold up like the talk to the hand like thing in front of them for a certain amount of time, it will block them and add them to your ignore list. So like there's really fun ways to like interact in a VR space without having to like sift through menus and shit like that. That is like, it's so immersive and fun, and I'm so glad it's free to play because it means more people will play it. And I'm so glad it exists at all because it came out at a perfect timing for PSVR because I just bought my headset. This came out the other day. But yeah, overall, everything I've played in VR, Skyrim, super hot, Rec Room, I've tried a little bit of Thumper. which I wasn't expecting Thumper VR to really be anything special. I thought it was just going to be, okay, I'm just kind of sitting there behind the scarab looking thing, and like that's it. But like, holy fucking shit! Like,
although those bosses are terrifying in non-VR, I can't imagine what they're like.
Yeah, that game was intense before, visually, to the point where it would like strain my eyes after a while. Being in VR, I was not really fully prepared. Like I don't know if my brain just wasn't expecting it to kind of give me the ability to kind of look around where I'm looking around. I thought it was really going to lock me on the track. But like looking around and like as I'm hitting notes and walls and bosses and different barriers and different things, and seeing all of these effects flying over my head to the side of me, and like just being on that track for real, it was one of the most visually impressive things I've ever seen in VR. And I actually had low expectations going in. Just because like I just figured it would be a more on rails experience, and it is, because you're literally on a rail, but like it was really cool. That's really neat. In short, I love VR. I love my time with it so far. It's one of those things that like if I'm ever in person with somebody and I have access to my headset, will make everybody try it, because like I love seeing people's reactions to like being in there. Like you're really in there, and like it's maybe like not 100% the feeling of being in there, because like you're still in your room, what I mean, like the weather conditions aren't right for Skyrim, but it really feels interesting when you walk into Riverwood for the first time, or you're eating dinner with Alvor and his family, or you go up to Bleak Falls Barrow and the snow is blowing really intensely and arrows are whizzing by your head, and just Bleak Falls Barrow looks bigger than it's ever looked, and it's so fun. It's a great time.
I gotta say, the one reason that I didn't pick up Skyrim again was because I had the idea of having to do Bleak Falls Barrow for probably like the 60th time, and it's like my least favorite part of the game. So.
Yeah. That's what's so interesting about this experience with me in VR, is that like even the things that I just like, okay, I've done this before, I've seen this, done this, the beginning of the game 1,000 times, seeing it from a different perspective like that, like kind of breathed new life into it for me, where it's like, okay, I'm going to Bleak Falls Barrow, I've done this 1,000 times, and it managed to impress me again. Like I'll like playing Skyrim for the first time when it first came out, I was impressed by everything at every corner. New Elder Scrolls game, I'm all hype. It managed to like kind of create a feeling of playing it for the first time again, even though I've spent hundreds of hours in this game, and it was so neat. It is coming to Vive eventually, so if you have access to anyone with a Vive and they are at all interested in Skyrim, I recommend giving them a nudge, because it is something really neat to experience, especially if you're familiar with Tamriel. Well, that is a hint for Andy to buy Skyrim.
I actually bought Skyrim for Andy year and a half ago now, in one of the sales. He's never played it. Because I bought it him because he'd never played Skyrim, and I was like, that needs to be fixed, so I bought him Skyrim, and he's still not fixed the issue that I still that I had.
Damn.
So it's not just me that's saying it, Andy, for fuck's sake. He never,
yes. Yeah, even if it's not in VR, play Skyrim.
He never listens to a single recommendation that I have for him. In fact, he goes the opposite way, because I said 100% you will not enjoy Animal Crossing. It's not your type of game. You're going to get really bored with it. So what did he do? He downloaded Pocket Camp.
Is he enjoying it?
No. He got bored with it and stopped playing it, as far as I can tell. He said it's because he was tired. But...
Are there any VR questions either of you have before I'm done talking about it?
Bring it with you.
Sure. Yeah. When I come to the UK, I'll bring my
bring your PS4 Pro and your VR.
You got it, man.
Cool, thanks.
No that's worth the effort for me, because I want to play Skyrim in VR. Like,
I kind of want to play Skyrim in VR now, but I don't.
I'm making my mom put it on today when I'm done with this, like later.
Record it.
It is so. Actually, what I really want to do is I really want to like stream playing Resident Evil with my dad in VR, because like that's just like because he's played the game before. Like unlike it's always fun for me to like see me. I'm still dazzled by technology, but like I'm so desensitized to like certain advancements where I'm just like oh awesome, but then it's like this is so cool. But like older people like are more amazed by even the stupidest shit. So like you put like somebody who's like 55 years old in the VR, they're gonna pee their pants. Like
I mean, that's what 55-year-olds do.
Yeah, is that where it starts?
I think so, yeah.
55.
If you're lucky.
But yeah, any questions on it or anything?
Not that I could think of. I think
How heavy is it? That's
the PSVR headset. I'm not sure on like the exact weight.
Does it feel heavy when you're wearing it?
No, not from what I've noticed, and it's been surprising. And from what I've read online, people cite PSVR as being the lightest one out of like the Vive and the Oculus and all of that.
Because the Vive felt super heavy.
But I'm not sure in relation to like
Cardboard or Daydream or whatever.
Yeah, so we'll have to look up like what the weight comparisons are, like how much it weighs exactly compared to the Vive, because then we'll get a better answer.
Let's
but
do
for
that
me,
now.
It's pretty comfortable so far. Like it seems lightweight. There's a lot of padding in there. It's like a really easy to wear headset.
I'm curious if it'll fit my face, because I went to the opticians recently and I found out that the like bridge of my nose is actually like a negative reading rather than a positive, because it recesses so far back. So like getting sunglasses that fit me is really difficult, and it didn't feel like the Vive fit me very well around that sort of like area of my face. So
Do you want to know something interesting?
More interesting than my negative reading on the bridge of my nose? I don't think that exists.
The PSVR is the heaviest.
Oh,
Really? Interesting.
I guess it's all about like I figured it's probably all about that
It's probably
that
built-
face, that head balance, like how you strap it to your face.
because I kind of want to play Skyrim in VR, just for the cool moments
really
at the beginning
impressive.
of the game. I don't think I could deal with the whole game in VR, but
It's really impressive. It's something that like I wasn't gonna ever check this out, because the earlier builds they showed, it only had the teleport movement. Like,
Yeah.
it's so prevalent
That's,
in
like,
VR.
The worst.
And I saw that, I'm like, it'll probably be cool to just stand there, but teleport movement kind of breaks the game in my opinion, because like you can't really move. Like if a dragon's fighting you and you gotta fucking point it and teleport every time you want to
just
move,
got
it's
to
like
do your Reaper impression.
yeah.
Um,
But I was watching footage. I looked up footage of like because they released new gameplay, and I'm like, oh okay, I'll check it out. And then I'm watching it. I'm like, wait a second, he's walking. Did they do it? They did it. They patched in full locomotion movement. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm buying it now. Like all I had to see was that footage. If I hadn't seen that footage, I maybe wouldn't have been as hyped. So I saw a headline.
I have a real question for you. Are you going to turn into one of those VR people that has like the treadmill with the belt around?
Like the Omni.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like I was thinking about like, man, the next step level of immersion of this is if I was really walking with my feet right now.
Yeah.
And like I don't think I'd ever do that because like that's a lot, and I would probably have a heart attack and die. But running from a dragon in real life.
That's how we get America
scary.
like buff and fit. Is we give everyone a
yeah,
VR
put 'em-
headset
put
and
'em
make them
all
run
in.
from a dragon.
Put them on a Skyrim VR. Yeah. Speaking of like running from your life for things, one of the things that's been amplified in VR, because I was never really scared in dungeons, but like going into like scary dungeons, like dark dungeons in VR is like legitimately terrifying me, like more than it ever has, because like just being in that damp ass place and like being able to just kind of like slowly look around corners and like I know they're just joggers and I'll fuck them up, but like it's still very scary.
Yeah,
Running
I
from
don't like
giants
the dark.
is very scary. I pissed off a giant. I lockpick his chest and I stole a bunch of his stuff. I'm like, I don't want to fight this giant because I can't. I'll get my ass kicked. Oh, by the way, getting hit in the air by a giant, very, very nauseous feeling. That's the one moment where I'm like, oh god, because it doesn't just cut the black in VR. They make you fly through the air.
no.
It is very terrifying. Yeah, I lockpicked his chest and because I can't fight him. I was close to Whiterun. It's like kind of like that giant camp outside of Whiterun. So I pick it. I'm like, okay, it's an expert lock. I can do this, even if my lockpick skill isn't great. Took the stuff, pissed him off. I start running. I look back. I notice his footsteps are getting closer. I don't want to look back, so I'm running as fast as I can. I do look back. I notice there's two giants now, not just one. And I am freaking out in VR. They are so gigantic. I jump into Whiterun though, and like I stopped. I landed. I was like standing next to a guard. I looked back, and the giant's still kind of standing back there, and he's like shaking his fist, kind of like, "Oh, you." I'm like, I really like Skyrim. It's yeah. Some certain moments are really frightening and amplified in VR. It's quite something. It is. I definitely want to stream it. I just got to figure out, because I know on PSVR if you stream, you can have it relay chat to you in a text-to-speech way, and I think you can also have it though show up on your screen. So I'm gonna have to figure out what the better option is for me, because I do want to stream Skyrim VR at some point this weekend, just to kind of have it up there. Because there's certain moments that I like capturing clips of, but like that I don't feel like scrubbing through the clip and seeing why I saved this on my PlayStation, because I never remember.
I'll definitely watch you play Monsters of the Deep if you get that.
I'm really thinking about buying it. I have heard mixed bad things about it, but like I don't really give a shit if it's bad. Like,
it depends on how much it is.
You can go and nuzzle Ignis. How does that not sound like the best game that's ever been made?
Like I'm looking at the PlayStation Store going, oh, this game looks all mediocre, but it's in VR, so I kind of want to check it out. Like, I just don't care. At this point, I'm in that adoption phase with VR where I'm like, I'll just buy any game, because like I just want to be in it. I don't even care if it's shit.
That's maybe an interesting question. Maybe not. You played Until Dawn, didn't you?
Yes, I have Rush of Blood. If it's
that's what I was gonna ask.
I haven't. I've played it once. What was your actual question?
A, if you were gonna play it.
Oh,
B, yes. If you had played it, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I own it myself. I played it at a friend's house for a little bit. It was, but I didn't get to play it too long. It was kind of more like take turns between levels type of thing. I didn't get to deep dive into it. I'm probably gonna play it today, because it was a Plus game this month, which is exciting for me, because I believe I read that they're gonna try to put a VR title on Plus as often as they can, which is nice, because
I was gonna say that can't be every month, because there's surely not enough.
They'll run out.
6.
They'll run out. There's surprisingly a lot on there. Not all of them worthwhile, but
Eagle Flight.
Play Eagle Flight on
Rush of Blood,
channel,
though.
get shut down.
Is that what happens?
When we live streamed the Ubisoft conference, they took our video down because Eagle Flight was in the middle of it.
What the fuck? I didn't even know that. Wow. Yeah, Rush of Blood is really fun. It would have been cool to have like a more authentic Until Dawn experience.
Like actually
VR.
Until Dawn, that would have been cool.
Yeah, but what's fun about it is the shooting itself is really well done. Like having the move controllers and the tracking with the guns and everything, it feels really fun to shoot things. The levels are actually pretty scary, surprisingly. Like, I'm on a roller coaster. How scary could it be? And then, no, it happens pretty fast. You get kind of scared pretty quickly. Unless I'm just a really big wussy. But and it's kind of fun though, seeing the little nods to the game. Like, it's kind of like a fan servicey VR game. Like, just seeing different areas from the game, or seeing enemies from the game, or things like that are kind of fun. It's a really well made game. It's just interesting to have the Until Dawn name slapped on it, but it's actually fun. It's actually well made.
Make another Until Dawn.
I'm looking forward to actually playing
That's what
it.
I want.
Yes, they do have a VR game that they're making called The Inpatient. That is, I believe, it's a prequel to Until Dawn. It's in the same universe.
I think that they said it was a prequel.
Yeah, I saw the ad on PSN yesterday, and I forgot to look at the date for it, but that I will absolutely be buying, because one, they make awesome games, and I still want to check out Hidden Agenda, that new game they just put out with the PlayLink app.
Right,
where it's
yeah.
like you can make decisions on your phone with everybody, which it will be really fun.
Never heard of it.
To do.
Andy won't stop telling me that we should play it, so I have definitely heard of
Yeah.
it.
It looks really fun. It brings that idea together of like, oh, everyone playing Until Dawn together and making choices, but introducing the smartphone app with it, so that everybody's making the choices on their phone, and then the one with the most votes like wins.
That's cool.
So like it looks really fun. My friend bought it. We haven't started it yet though.
Yeah, because we played Until Dawn in like a group of us, because I'm a big scaredy baby, and I don't play horror games by myself ever. But yeah, I liked Until Dawn, so I was just curious about if you were.
Yeah. I'll have like more info for you on it once I'm like able to play it like for more hours like on my own. But from what I have played, it is a lot of fun, and I do plan on jumping in because I got it for free.
Yeah, free is a good price. So.
I want to check out. I have no interest in the game Bound, but it has a VR mode, and that was a Plus game. So I own it. So I might just download it and try it out. I don't know what it's like.
I might pick up Bound.
I thought you were just like, I'll buy this game because it's got a VR mode, even though I don't really care.
I'm like on the lookout for like anything. I'm like going to the Reddit subreddit like, oh, what's the best PSVR games? Like Fruit Ninja. Sure, maybe I'll buy Fruit Ninja in VR because like slicing fruit in VR. Why not?
Don't punch your wall.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm scared about.
I am curious to see where VR is going to go, to be honest, because I really hope it doesn't
Same.
go the same way as the Kinect did.
Absolutely. I think it's already off to a better start than like the past attempts at like these things. I think VR is an interesting market to where also I think it allows you to have experiences that aren't strictly video games. Like at Sony's like Paris Games Week thing or whatever, or was it Paris Games Week or something else? I bet it Tokyo Game Show, where like they were just showing off stupid things where like you just watch concerts or you go on vacation or read the news, like things that aren't necessarily just video games. I think it has more potential than just like the Kinect or the Move, because I think it offers up experiences that like are beyond just playing video games.
Yeah.
They need to make it so that you can watch your 3D movies on a VR headset. That's what they need to do.
That'd be really cool.
I don't like
those
3D
people
movies
that
or
bought
VR,
3D.
so that sounds like my
Yeah.
worst nightmare, personally.
I've been tempted to just use my headset right now as a TV, because you could just put it on your head and just kind of go in and use it as a big
Cinema
screen.
mode or whatever.
Yeah. But I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know how it looks or anything like that.
Does
But,
VR not like fuck your eyes up if you use it for too long? Like,
Yeah, you're not supposed to use it for more than half an hour or an hour. That's why when Bill said he
There's-
played it for like 2.5 hours, I was like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm going off the deep end here.
don't hurt yourself, Bill.
I have
down the
noticed
pin.
that some things look a little different in the real world.
Uh,
Permanently or just for a
like,
little bit afterwards?
I've
Things
noticed
look
that there's this weird sort of prompt above everything.
Things look a little fake sometimes. Like it's just the brain.
Things look a bit too high def.
What's weird about it is like when you're in VR, and this is like nothing's wrong with me or anything. It's just like a weird, like I'm fine now, but like when you take it off and you like go back in like downstairs or wherever you're going and get a drink. When you're in VR, like you're seeing things at the frame rate of the video game. So and
Real
and they do
life's
a
so smooth.
like it's like really strange. Like I'm expecting to see like text I'm looking at a little more floaty, whereas like I'm looking at like my phone or at like the stuff on the milk carton and I'm like, yeah, that's real. So like there's a weird feeling you get when you take it off. But yeah, everything's been if anything bad happens to me, I mean like it's documented why on this episode. So
Right, but don't though, because I don't want to find a new co-host.
I'll
That
be
was
fine.
bad enough.
I'll be fine. If I go blind, I can still talk.
Yeah.
Not play video games though, dude.
There are ways. The blind people who speedrun Zelda. So like I think I could try.
Oh, you could be one of those people that like plays Punch Out but blindfolded, but actually blind.
The blindfolds for
blind,
effect.
Being blind would be very bad. But yeah,
don't do that.
It's a little disorienting, but yeah. I've been loving it. I've been loving my VR. It's a purchase that I have made 2 big purchases over the last month, and both of them, like initially, like you make it and it's a lot of money, and you're like, oh god. But both of them I have come away very, very, very happy with. I love my Switch. I love my PSVR. It's in a very happy place video game wise, and
Cool.
this year has
Been a good time.
very good.
Is that it?
With that said, I believe that is everything.
Oh my god.
I mean, I do have a couple of bits.
Oh.
No, it's fine. I can leave it.
No, it's fine.
Kiddos, what you got, man? What you got, man?
I picked up Rocket League on the Switch.
Oh yeah, I'd like to hear about that actually.
It's Rocket League. It's good. Graphical quality down a little bit so that they can have a steady 60 FPS, but it runs flawlessly. It's fun. It's Rocket League.
Awesome.
The community is nice. And I played Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, the new
which
meme
is a
visual novel.
Yeah, I played it before it was a meme. I don't know how I found it, to be honest, but it's good. I won't say too much about it. Play the game, although the content warning that it gives you is legitimate. So if you're of a certain disposition, you might want to not play it.
You know what pisses me off about visual novels is that only the meme ones are the ones that people talk about.
Yeah.
Like, only proper visual novel fans talk about, like, Clannad, but everyone talks about things like Hatful Boyfriend and Doki Doki Literature Club.
I think that Like, How to Fool Boyfriend is memey because it's bloody weird, just as a premise. Although there is an interesting deep story behind it,
which
that neither of you got to.
Probably about 3% of people got to.
Yeah. Whereas Doki Doki Literature Club isn't memey for the... I guess there are bits of it, but like it does tackle some interesting ideas and does so in an interesting way mechanically.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam. It is a pay what you want game, so you can download it free download it free DRM free from the developer, or you can pay whatever you want.
It comes with a fan pack. Well, I will download that then and see what I think about it.
Yes, but like I said, content warning, a little bit. It's the sort of thing where you're like, well, I kind of know that something's going to happen now, so you're a little bit on edge. But it is there for a reason.
Okay. I don't look forward to it, but I have to see what it's about because it's a visual novel.
Well, it's about a girl who wants her childhood friend to join the literature club with her, so that there's enough members to be a legitimate club. And you play as the guy, and it's your journey into making new friends with people.
I refuse to believe that that's all that there is to it.
This is the problem with memey things. Like, everyone knew that something was up with Pony Island. There is obviously more to it, but that is the basic premise.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it a play. I'll let you know what I think in January. Apparently it is relevant to me because similar games I've played have been Hustle Cat and Nameless. And I feel like Hustle Cat is not along the same sort of vibe as this game, but sure.
I've never heard of Hustle Cat.
Hustle Cat's a game where you turn into a cat.
Oh. Yeah,
Hustle
okay.
Cat's cute.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. No.
Is that everything?
Mhm.
Cool.
Cool.
See you next year, everybody.
Well, we'll see you in our little mini-sodes, however they end up being, before the end of the year. But then, yes, there'll be a live stream, hopefully in the first half of January.
Regardless, we'll have some stuff for you at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see you in 2018 as well for our full GOTY live stream, which will be a great time. Look forward to us talking about 2017 as a whole, which is going to be a feat because this has been a titan of a year and it is not over yet. There are still games coming out. There's still games out that we haven't played, and it's an exciting year of great experiences and new hardware and lots to love.
Can I just say congratulations to us for pretty much having an episode every month this year.
Yeah, the only exception was the Destiny episode, which I wasn't on.
Yeah, and technically now December, but you know what? It's good enough.
And I believe we're planning for some more interesting stuff to come to the channel in 2018.
2018 will be a big, nice year for Permadeath. We'll have some redesigns. We'll have some new content. We'll have maybe some new faces. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff to look forward to.
I didn't want to bring up that I was going in for surgery, but okay.
Facial reconstruction for Ken Ross. We have a new face.
Yeah.
Can we give them a hint as to what might be coming up?
Videos.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I just feel like every time someone's like, oh, big things are happening, I'm like, just tell me about the big things. I think the reason we don't want to tell you about the big things is because that is a huge commitment.
We've got new shows that involve things coming every week. Not this show. No. This show won't be coming every week. This show will still be monthly.
We tried to make it weekly. I tried to make it weekly. That didn't go well at all.
I don't think our sort of format works for weekly. So
no.
I think
it's really hard to do.
But we do know people with a format that does.
Yep, we'll have a new show that'll be weekly. We'll have other content, other video content as well. Things will look a little different.
A little bit of RPG stuff.
Things will look a lot different, actually. We'll eventually be rolling some dice.
Mm-hmm. Roll for
it,
insight. That's a
yeah.
9.
It'll be a nice year. I have some fun things planned. Things will roll out a little slowly though. So that's why I haven't made any official named announcements. That will happen though. There will be a video that goes over everything in detail. Once I have the finished
Relevant bits.
new logo in hand, things will start moving a little bit faster.
Oh, Bill, you just dropped it that we're having a new logo.
Oh man.
And we're gonna get new thumbnails,
there's your-
and I'm so excited.
There's yeah, total site redesign in terms of how the channel will look coming slowly over time. A new
Honest
logo,
to God,
new thumbnails.
one of the things that I'm most looking forward to is going back through all the old thumbnails and making them look better.
Yes,
They don't even
it'll
have
be
to
a-
look better, just unified.
Well, they look unified right
it's-
now. It's
and-
just it's not a good kind of unified.
Well,
Yeah.
we got 4 different types of thumbnail.
It's mostly the grey ones.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, so look forward to all of that. 2018 will be a nice year for here.
I'm looking forward to it.
We hope you stick around to enjoy it. And if you have been sticking around, as those things start to roll out, please share it with your friends. I don't usually ask for shares, but in that case, as things are going to be a little bit different next year, there might be something for somebody else that maybe they haven't been able to find here before. Maybe they'll find something here then. So, as always, follow us on Twitter at PermaPodcast. If you're listening on podcast services for the first time and you haven't done so, go ahead. You can find me on Twitter at Pepperdham. Where are you guys?
On Twitter at BizarreJelly5.
Again, Ross.
07.
Nice. And yeah, you can find our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Permadeath Podcast. You can go ahead and leave us an email, permadeathpodcast@gmail.com. Leave a comment down below if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, tweet us. What do you think of VR? What do you think of the Switch? What do you think of Mario Odyssey? Have you played it? I hope you've played it. If you have a Switch. If you have a Switch and haven't played Mario Odyssey, I hope you're just I hope you're just broke.
I hope you're broke.
I hope your reason is that you couldn't afford it.
Yeah, anyway.
With that,
See you in history,
see you in the
everybody.
history. T-shirts next year in 2018. Let's make it happen.
Woo! Everything was soup.